Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Men, it's the season of all kinds of hustle and bustle. But if your energy is down, if you aren't sleeping well, if your sex drive is MIA, and you just don't feel like the guy you once were, maybe it's tough to get excited for all the holiday cheer. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and if this sounds like you may have low testosterone. And if so, this is the season for you to get treated. At Northeast Men's Health, we're experts in treating low T. If you're like most guys, you'll feel the change in just a few weeks, and truly, the results can be life-changing. You'll have improved mental clarity, your energy will kick up, your workouts will be better, your sleep patterns will improve, and your sex drive will likely heat up as well. So call us, and don't go through another season with low T. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you on the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800
Party starts
5956 or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 5 offices across the Northeast to serve you. Northeast Men's Health, a Permedic restorative health practice.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
This is not who I am as a professional or who I am as a teacher.
All the people that I care about aren't going to be safe in America. Neither the are you guys.
I've devoted my whole life to this, preparing my whole life. I always wanted to be a teacher from the time I was a young child.
Just because you won doesn't mean we don't remember who the you voted for.
And, I finally worked my way up to that. And I am well respected, which I appreciate. I love my students. I love their families. I love the people I work with.
You're not in the clear. And just please don't test your gangster on me, because you will end on a stretcher.
And, I'm just trying to do what's right now to get my life.
I guess somebody test their gangster on after all, huh?
Biggest passion in the world.
Yeah. Oh, what's going on, all you scallywags? What's going on, nutmeggers? What's up, everybody across the fruited plain? It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC. Never doubt me. I got these messages after the Dunleavy story broke. What's going to happen, Reese? She's not going to lose her job. No one's ever going to be held accountable. Somebody was held accountable. I told you it was going to... Listen, the atmosphere is too raw. You do something like that online, there have to be repercussions and consequences. There just has to be. Do you understand it? Nobody believed me about remember that? I was the first person who called, what was her name? McGriddle? I can't remember her name. The former FBI, Secret Service director. I said she was going to have to quit. What did she do? She quit. Look, I'm sorry. I'm going to say this, as much as it's going to sound like bragging, okay? But at this point, I'm done. If you want to come for the cutting edge of what's going on in your news, you got to come here. It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC. It just is. I know a lot of people play to the headlines. I do not. I read through them. I just can't regurgitate what's on the air and then come on to, did you see what happened? No, I just can't. My brain doesn't work that way. I've tried. I tried to just be the guy that says, hey, cover the news and just talk about that and make that a topic. No. I'm no longer. I cannot be bashful about this anymore. I'm just telling you, if you really want to be, and I know a lot of things that people get caught up in the headlines and get caught up on the clickbait. That's easy. It's very easy to do that. But I think I owe it to you as an audience to go in depth. It's not so much about making predictions. It's about all of us being critical thinkers in all of this. The news has a template they have to follow. It's bred in them. It's what their newsrooms do. It's the reason why they're failing. Do you understand that? It's the reason why they are failing. Is because they refuse to get out of that doldrum, out of that silliness. So I'm trying to do something new just to get everybody to say, you know what? I'm curious of this. And force them to get out of their box. Because they're going to keep reading copy, folks. Trust me. They're just going to. And not recognize the failure that continues to happen in that business. The other failure that I'm noticing, and again, it's not just the news media and the Democrat Party are pretty much the same thing. I tend to repeat myself. But I need today's opening monologue to be about my good friend, Chris Murphy, who has not learned a thing since the election. Claims he has, but hasn't learned a thing. He was on Rachel Maddow's little sister show. Chris Hayes, you know him. He was on Rachel Maddow's little sister show talking about what he thought was the problem in this election. He doesn't get it. He doesn't. He clearly does not. And I will illustrate that to you today. Let's start. This is what he believes is the problem inside the Democrat Party.
We became very intolerant, very judgmental of people who thought differently than us on social and cultural issues and other tough subjects like guns and climate. I think we should return to the party we were in the 70s and 80s when we had economics as the tent pole, and then we let people in who thought differently than us on other social and cultural issues, and we fought out those debates inside that tent. That's a difficult thing for the Democratic Party to do because we have applied a lot of litmus tests over the years, but those litmus tests have added up to a party that is pretty exclusionary and is shrinking, not growing.
Now, I was the person who told you that last part, that the Democrat Party, much like the news media, is shrinking. Why? Because they are exclusionary. And he said that famous line, we have to start letting people in. No offense there, Chris Murphy. You know what we used to say in the hood to comments like that? Who are you? Who are you? You have to start letting people in? Who are you? Your party is the people. What do you mean you have to start letting people in? He also feels that way, ironically, folks, about power. Listen to this.
I think we misunderstood the Republicans' focus on immigration. Yes, some of it was playing to nativism and racism, but a lot
I'm sorry, that was the wrong one. I need that one later. Here's the power thing.
I think we've got to engage in some much more robust economic populism, talk about who has power, talk about how we are going to tangibly deliver it to Americans who have lost power.
He believes that he can distribute power. The power is automatically to the people, Dr. Murphy. Do you not understand that? You have no power. You are a servant. So you think going after the big corporations and giving people power. Oh, and that's the other problem. Dr. Murphy, you think that the problem is the big corporations. They're the ones who have the power. This was a referendum on you, on the government. This was an anti-government election. Donald Trump said, I'm going in there giving the people the power. Don't you understand what the Department of Government Efficiency is about? Don't you understand what nominating Pete Hegseth was about? Tulsi Gabbard? Robert Kennedy? Matt Gaetz? Don't you understand what this is about? This is a referendum on power. Who's the power structure? People who believe in giving the power to the people, or is every person I just mentioned. But you still think you get to distribute power. And not only that, you're going to blame it on the corporations and the millionaires and the billionaires. Not you. And you don't get to tell people how they have power. They automatically have it. But I want to get back to the opening one, the important one, this one here.
We became very intolerant, very judgmental of people who thought differently than us on social and cultural issues and other tough subjects like guns and climate. I think.
So he says that we became intolerant of those views and we didn't allow others in. Well, this, Chris Murphy, is what your party has done to itself. This is from 8 years ago, but it is illustrative of who the Democrat Party is. I've talked about this guy on the show, friend to the room, Ami Horowitz. He has a series of these videos online. You can find them at YouTube. But this one is about the word compromise, and that's what Chris Murphy's talking about here. We need to compromise with people who don't agree with us, bring them into our tent, and have our discussions about what we disagree with. Well, Chris Murphy, I'd like to try that. I'd like to see what your party really thinks about compromise. Here's Ami talking to Democrats about just that.
How important is it, the value of toleration and accepting of other people?
It's the most important thing.
Extremely important. You know, this divisiveness in this country has become terrible.
You know, be compassionate and understanding and be as supportive as you can. I think it's very important.
Very important.
Yeah, I think it's extremely important.
Very important. I'll never understand fully why people spend all their time, trying to hate on one group.
It's very important.
Now, in that discussion, Ami Horowitz asked them about compromise. And by the way, apologize for the quality of the audio, but I had to splice it to remove the music that's in the background because it's outside and you can't really hear them. So I eliminated the music, so you can only hear the vocals of the people he's speaking to. So if it sounds a little distorted, it's not your radio, it's the audio. But again, like I said, he's talking to New Yorkers about compromise. And all of them, as you heard, said it's very important. So he asked them about Republicans. Same people, not a different group, answered this way.
Do Republicans have any value at all?
No, they're delusional. I mean, they're literally delusional. They are really, really selfish human beings.
Oh, I think they're disgusting.
Are they racist?
Yeah.
Misogynistic?
A lot of misogyny.
Monstrous.
Mindless. Or
Racist.
There's a lot of immorality in them. Every living thing on this earth is a miracle.
Not Republicans.
Yeah, every living thing in this world is a miracle. Ami says, not Republicans. Remember, the conversation began about compromise. Republicans get tossed into the mix. Every expletive you could think of about them. Chris Murphy, your party brought this. Let's go one step further. How about this one? This one's on what things they can compromise on, how important it is to compromise.
How important is it for us to compromise on an issue, on a major issue?
I think it's important. Yeah, super important. Yeah. You know, it's not always going to be fair. You know, it's not, and not everybody's going to be happy by the end, but it's important to talk things through.
Otherwise, how do we unify?
Yeah, exactly.
I do think it's important to find compromises.
Yeah.
And I think that the country would be in much better shape
if we did compromise.
Yeah.
Being able to compromise and to come up with a solution is like the best thing you can do.
I feel like people in that position should compromise more.
How important is the value of compromising to achieve unity?
It's important. I mean, you do have to compromise.
Yeah, you do have to compromise. So Ami, being the person that he is, and he's a great guy, trust me, he asked them about some very key issues inside the Democrat Party. And remember, you heard Chris Murphy. We need to start bringing people in who disagree with us and have those discussions inside our party. Well, let's see. This is 8 years in the past. Let's see whether or not those people might be, I don't know, somewhat reticent or interested in having those discussions, Chris Murphy. Here's climate change for you.
Can you compromise on something around climate change to give the Republicans something?
Yeah, it would depend on what it was. For instance, they want to go into Anwar, the Arctic National Reserve, to start digging that up.
So you're okay with that?
No, I am not.
Oh, okay.
No.
Is there something you're willing to compromise on climate change to give the Republicans something they want?
Well, they could, you know, as far as carbon emissions goes, they could do something with that. If there were carbon emissions coming from a certain state, they would have to pay extra or something of that nature.
Now, she's saying there could be carbon emissions coming from a particular state. If they have more carbon emissions, they could pay more money. So Army went further.
It would have.
So you'd be willing to have a little more carbon emission?
No.
Oh, you wouldn't. Okay. So there really isn't anything you're willing to compromise on.
Well, I
when it
don't
comes to
know.
climate change.
I don't know.
I'm getting the feeling that you don't fully understand the meaning of the word compromise.
Because they don't, Chris Murphy. They don't. How about universal health care? That's a conversation you folks need to have, right? Maybe there's some wiggle room inside your party to understand universal health care. But let's see, 8 years ago, how far the Democrat Party was on that conversation.
Can you compromise on universal health care?
Well, I can't see not giving it to everyone. Well, there can be compromises, but the compromise can't be there are
not
people
covering every single
not
person.
covering every single person.
Can you compromise on universal health care?
No, I mean, ultimately, no, I don't believe so.
Is there room to compromise on universal health care?
I guess not. No. No. Other people, governments can do it. So I don't understand why we can't.
There's so many issues that I feel like there is a very clear answer, and this is one of them.
Clear answer. No compromise. And I would have to say, the pièce de résistance, abortion. Any wiggle room there, Chris Murphy? 8 years ago. Let's see.
What about an issue like abortion?
Yeah, I think that one's pretty clear cut. It's yes, or I think there's
no room.
Yeah, there's
no room to compromise.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Is there a compromise to be had on abortion?
No.
No, it's their body. It's absolutely their body.
We're taking away my right to abortion. I can't compromise on that.
There's no compromise on allowing women to do what they have to do.
These are not radical leftists, folks. These are not radicals. These are everyday American, working Americans in the bluest of blue states, New York. In New York City in particular. He took this video right in at St. Mark's Place in the Lower East Side of Manhattan. I used to live there. So he asked one last one. Here we go.
On issues that are important to you, you really shouldn't compromise.
Yeah.
On issues that are important to you, you really shouldn't compromise.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
And issues that are right for like society and humanity.
Okay, so yeah, maybe earlier I said compromising, but maybe now that you're making me see that, yeah.
Do you think that we can unify with Republicans? Like, is there a real way to do that?
Maybe in the far future. I don't think right now there is though.
You don't see any way to unify Republicans? Yeah.
No, not to my knowledge.
So Chris Murphy, let's be honest. You've got a tough road to hoe. Really, really tough road to hoe. Your party has been absolutely like the antithesis of compromise, reason. You've been exclusionary. You're 100% right. And there's no coming back from it. They were steadfast. We told you years ago, you need to step up. Get your party in order. Tell them they can't just completely cut out and excise everyone who disagrees with them. Even ask them for reason. Again, these people aren't even radicals. These people are not radicals, but they are core to the Democrat Party. Core. And you made them this way. You went on television and you called them un-American, Kathy Hochul. You called them misogynist. Hell, the President of the United States called them garbage. And you think that after the election, you guys can just reframe yourselves like 30 years worth of demonizing people because they didn't see it your way? All of a sudden, you think you're going to get back in this boat and paddle it to victory? No, sir. No, sir. Now, Chris Murphy, I understand. A lot of people are telling me you've got a likelihood of becoming president of the United States. And if not, you'll at least run 2032. That might be your time, my friend, because it's going to take that long for you to reshape your party, without a doubt. Let's go to the phones. 860-522-WTIC. What's going on, Jeff in Middleton?
Afternoon, sir.
How we doing?
I'm not too bad. Yourself?
I'm all right. What do you got for me?
Real quick, I want to get back to the first clip you played with that, I forget her name, the teacher who...
Oh, Annie Dunleavy.
Yeah, her. Here's a question, just something to think about. While I think she's pretty much completely unhinged and unstable, doesn't her First Amendment allow her to be that way?
Yes, and I don't think anyone has made any claims about her First Amendment right to free speech. But I believe that the First Amendment, in many ways, can be like tightroping over the Grand Canyon. I believe that, in fact, I'll go so far as to say this. I believe that white people should be allowed to use the N-word, but understand the consequences of using it, right? That is the tightrope over the Grand Canyon. If you use that word, whether it's in speech or reciting something in a hip-hop song or reading it from text, whatever the case may be, if someone decides that they are offended by it, that, of course, is the tightrope you walk on. Right? So in context, I believe that you should not be inhibited or you should not be prohibited, I should say. You should not be prohibited from language. However, that is the tightrope you walk on. If people say that was offensive or disrespectful, you must suffer the consequences of it. But I don't believe in taking the right of you to say what is free speech. I just don't.
No, I guess where I'm going with this is, you're allowed to yell fire in a crowded movie theater, but if you use your best judgment, you probably shouldn't.
But see, that's my... But Jeff, let me say this. People use that argument that says you can't scream fire in a movie theater. And my response to that is, what if the movie theater is on fire?
Well, there's that. That's a good point.
You know, so there are no absolutes in that defense.
No.
So
no, I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying that, no matter how hard you try to legislate common sense, you can't do it.
And I think in this case, there was no real legislation as a consequence to Annie Dunleavy. She did the right thing. I believe that someone talked her into it, but she did the right thing. However it happened, it was right for her to resign, regroup, apologize, show contrition, and then move on. If she gets another job, which someone I'm sure will, if she's got a reputation of being a good teacher and good to her students, she's a special ed teacher, I'm sure she's got a reputation that will get her back into the good graces of some school system and at least bring her back there. And if she could, again, I haven't seen the full interview with Dennis House, but when I do, I'll give her an opportunity to sort of explain where she was and what led her to that diatribe. But hopefully she can get a second chance. We're in a country of second chances.
Well, I don't think this should be the end of her career, period, just because she chose to go off on an unhinged rant.
Well, I don't know if anyone here is saying that or who has, but if they are saying that, you're 100% right. She should be given another opportunity. She should be able to apologize. No one was hurt. If anything, people were offended, but that's not that. I don't consider that some sort of harm being done to anyone. But you're right. She should get another opportunity, but she must show contrition, and hopefully this interview will give her an opportunity to do it. Ref Jeff, I got to go to a break because we're in a hard one right now. It's Reese on the Radio. Let's take a break. We'll be back. More news, more views, and your response to the opening monologue when we return. It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
Did you know that 9 out of 10 customers would recommend AAA insurance to a friend? 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 people don't even like Philly cheesesteaks. More loved than the most loved sandwich in the city of brotherly love? Does that make us siblings? Well, we do treat our customers like family. Legendary service and superior coverage from AAA Insurance. Something 9 out of 10 people would recommend. Find out why at AAA.com/insurance and get a quote. Based on a 2023 customer survey. Insurance provided by CSAA Insurance Exchange.
You love your city, but let's be honest, the commute, not so much. That's where the free Odyssey app can help. Download the app and follow your local news station so you can get the latest traffic reports or find if your train is on time before you walk out your door. Knowing all this gives you time to think about the essential things like, do I have time to get coffee? Download the free Odyssey app and search your local news station. That's AUDACY.
Get a head start to your day with WTIC News Talk 1080. Listen to us live on the Odyssey app before you even hit the road. Get the breakdown on the biggest news stories that Connecticut is talking about. To get started, download the Odyssey app and search for WTIC News Talk 1080. Need good tech advice?
Must be a computer error.
Tune into the Gold.com award-winning Computer Talk with Tab. Saturday mornings 9 to 11 on WTIC News Talk 1080. Eric Semmel and Dennis Howland of Tab Computer Systems will keep you updated with tech news you can use and answer your technology questions live on the air. Miss a program? Be sure to subscribe to the podcast and tune in from anywhere via the Odyssey app. Computer Talk with Tab, Saturday mornings on WTIC, News Talk 1080. And now, a WTIC news update.
48 degrees, 3:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. We're retreating now from the high of 50 this afternoon, low in the upper 20s tonight. Elevated fire weather concerns continue. The slowdown in job growth in October appears to be a speed bump as new unemployment applications dropped last week.
Initial jobless claims fell to their lowest level since May, with the Labor Department reporting a decline of 4,000 to 217,000. Since November 2021, first-time unemployment claims have generally averaged around 220,000, remaining in a fairly tight range between 200 and 250,000, which is historically low for such a long stretch.
CBS's Jason Brooks. In a new report, Human Rights Watch says Israel is committing war crimes in Gaza.
The report is called Hopeless, Starving, and Besieged, and it alleges that Israel has committed war crimes against the Palestinians in Gaza. It points out that almost 2 million residents of the Gaza Strip have been forced from their homes by the Israeli military, and some of them more than once. The majority have not been allowed to return. Over 1 million people are now living in tents or temporary shelters.
CBS's Elizabeth Palmer. Israel says it does not deliberately target civilians and blames Hamas for operating in residential areas. The new owner of the conspiracy outlet InfoWars is the comedy publication The Onion. That's after a bankruptcy auction. Former owner Alex Jones defamed the Sandy Hook families with false claims about the 2020
Be right back.
and owes about $1.5 billion in damages. The Onion says InfoWars will be relaunched as a parody of itself. Ben Collins is CEO of the parent company of The Onion.
By the end of the day, it was us or Alex Jones. That's who could either continue this website unabated, basically unpunished for what he's done to these families over the years, or we can make a dumb, stupid website. And we decided to do the second.
Jones vows to challenge that sale. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 200 points. S&P dropping 32. The NASDAQ is minus 122. Let's check the forecast.
Periods of sun this afternoon, the high of 51, though it'll feel cooler with a bit of a breeze out of the north-northeast. Under clear skies, cold tonight, the low down to 28. Mostly sunny, breezy on Friday, the high of 59. The north-northwest winds up to 10 to 20 miles an hour. The combination of low humidity, dry brush, and gusty winds will result in a high fire threat right through the weekend. Partly sunny, windy Saturday, the high of 60. Sunny to partly cloudy, still breezy Sunday, the high 62. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
48 right now. Sports. Baseball's Tampa Bay Rays will play their 2025 home schedule at the Yankees' nearby spring training ballpark with a capacity of 11,000. Tropicana Field's roof was ripped off in a recent hurricane. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Maker, WTIC 1080 News.
Is thinning hair or a receding hairline making you self-conscious? Try Hair Grow from New Nordic. Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start feeling your best with Hair Grow. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com.
Highland Park Market is a family-owned and operated local business. We care about and are invested in the well-being of our communities. Compared to chain stores, locally owned businesses return a much larger share of our revenue back into the local economy, enriching the entire community. Highland Park Market offers great service, the best products, and the highest quality throughout our stores. We appreciate your support. Nobody does it better than Highland Park Market. Manchester, Glastonbury, Farmington, and at highlandparkmarket.com.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Are you working out, eating healthy, and doing all the right things and still struggling to lose weight? Don't get frustrated. Get answers. You could be having difficulty because of your metabolism. Lumen is the world's first handheld metabolic coach. revealing how your diet and lifestyle fit into the bigger picture of how your body burns carbs and fat, allowing you to develop a game plan and see results. Go to lumen.me right now for 30% off. With just one breath, Lumen offers insight into what's happening with your body and promotes optimal metabolic health for easier weight management, improved energy levels, and better fitness results. Go to lumen.me today and get 30% off. Plus, listeners can get an additional 15% off by using promo code RADIO90. That's promo code RADIO90 at lumen.me to get an additional 15% off your first purchase today. LUMEN.me, promo code RADIO90.
Do you have shoeboxes full of old videotapes and photos with memories you'd love to share with the family this Christmas? Right now, get exclusive early access to Legacy Box's biggest deal of the year. Digitize your memories for just $9 per tape. That's right, only $9 to preserve and share your precious moments. VHS, VHS-C, Hi-8, film reels, and more, saving you over $15 per item. Not to mention, when you digitize your memories now, Legacy Box sends all your memories back on the cloud, so they're easy to access by Christmas, and you can relive them with your family just in time for the holidays. You've heard about Legacy Box all year, but now is the best time to digitize your memories. Hurry, this $9 deal won't last long. Head to legacybox.com/value for early access to our best deal of the year. Don't wait. Secure your digitized memories by Christmas at legacybox.com/value.
With tens of thousands of satisfied patients across America, it's no surprise QC Kinetics gets 5-star reviews.
I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
I'm able to do the things that I wasn't able to do for a long time.
I can recommend them highly.
I would recommend QC to anybody. QC Kinetics has changed my life.
I couldn't believe it. I honestly was skeptical, but the pain went from a 10 to a 0.
Real people with real lasting relief from joint pain.
QC Kinetics Regenerative Medicine is regenerating me.
It was super successful, and I recommend everyone seek out QC Kinetics as an alternative to surgery.
This non-surgical approach is definitely the future.
I tell as many people as possible. I am an ambassador. I love QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine. No drugs, no surgery. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 860-440-PAIN. That's 860-440-PAIN. 860-440-PAIN.
We all hear IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us on .com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is.
You know who it is.
You know who it is. It's Reese on the Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
Let's get to the phones after that opening monologue. 860-522-WTIC. My good friend Joe is in Simsbury. How we doing, Joe?
How are you, Reese?
Pretty good, sir.
That's good. So I do want to talk about the Justin Elliker
interview yesterday. Sure.
Yeah, but first of all, I'd like to mention the Alex Jones news that was just on.
Yeah.
About the Onion buying InfoWars.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a big Alex Jones fan. I never have been. I respect that he has come out with some predictions that, sadly for this country, have turned out to be 100% right.
Yeah.
But I still remain very bothered by this whole situation, because my understanding in a nutshell of what occurred with this lawsuit was him knowing that something was false, talked about it on the media. People who listened to him took it upon themselves to act like low-life human beings and started to give a hard time to the parents of the terrible, victims that their children became in this situation.
Indeed.
Now, that has free speech ramifications, but it also, if I just presented that accurately, why is that same argument not being used against Democrats who have done tremendous damage to Republicans when it came to whether or not the 2020 election had irregularities? And I'll use Mike Lindell as a great example. His MyPillow company has been really, really hurt because he got out in front of this issue, and corporations took his stuff off the shelves and said they didn't want to be associated with him. Individuals went after him. Individuals went after his employees. And now we've got the new news in the last 10 days of where are all these missing votes. So it looks like, and that's just one example.
I can give you another one. I can give you another one of more recent, Joe. This is very important. Let's take the gentleman by the name of Hodgkinson. I'm forgetting his first name for some odd reason. He was the gentleman from Ohio who drove all the way to Virginia to shoot Steve Scalise, majority whip Steve Scalise at a baseball field. And in searching his social media, he was a Bernie Sanders a volunteer. He was an avid watcher of Rachel Maddow's show on MSNBC, who you can argue under the same circumstances with Alex Jones, right? And as you just framed it, Alex Jones saying what he said about those victims prompted others to do unseemly things. Therefore, Alex Jones is sued for said action. This would therefore open up the possibility of Rachel Maddow and Bernie Sanders, I would say, radicalizing Hodgkinson. I can even go so far as to say Thomas Crook, who took the shot on July 13th of this year in Butler, Pennsylvania. Both of those things, you can honestly say, was the same exact thing, much worse, actually, because we're talking about people who actually grab weapons, in order to take someone's life, not just harass individuals as an Alex Jones thing. But yeah, you would say that, look, one good deed, as many people are trying to frame the Alex Jones thing, deserves another.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense to me, and I'm hoping that someone on our side decides to test this law and see if this is the way the world is going to be. But my second point, and very quickly, I'm not going to be so quick to forgive Annie Dunleavy and allow her to even, continue her career of choice so easily. However, if she wants to come on your show or Tom's show, and also allow for some callers to call in and ask her, then I will look at that as, okay, she really does want to go, into the lion's den, face the music. And at that point, I would be much more apt to say, okay, she made a mistake. She's not just playing the game here. She's really upset about what she did. She wants to make amends, and she's going where it's not going to be a friendly crowd. And if she does that, I'll be on board. Without that, I'm sorry. It's, it's a lot of smoke and mirrors for me. But the Justin Elliker interview, which was great.
Yes, thank you.
I thought he did a master class. And what I mean by that, yeah, I knew you would laugh.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is if you listen to, and I'm sure you did because you were conducting the interview, but if someone really listens to his word choice, the emotions that he was hitting, the way he was appealing to people who didn't know the facts of situations, but he still did a great master class in how to appeal. Basically what I'm saying is his master class was perfection when it comes to appealing to the uninformed and the ignorant.
Yes, the uninformed compassionate. The uninformed compassionate. Because they don't have to have the details to the story. They only need to understand compassion. I want to be compassionate. I'm compassionate. He sounds compassionate. So the facts of the case don't apply. You hear things like 21-year-old young man. Police officer shoots him, slow crawling, things like that. He's using platitudes. There's no facts in what he's suggesting. But then when someone says, what would you have done in that situation? Of course, I say directly, I'd have shot him. That's crazy. It's like, no, it's not.
21-year-old boy. So he's presenting the picture. But the other part of it I was referring to was the first half of the interview talking about immigration and the way he just danced around the situation and tried to make it seem like, oh, yeah, we do this, we do that. And, well, where are the facts of, how you actually, you're giving me a hard time here, Reese. Like, I'm trying to be cooperative. Well, where are the facts? But to an ignorant person, he answered the question. He did a great job to appeal to that type of person who doesn't have the ability to say, hey, wait a second, how come he doesn't know how many illegals they have reported to ICE during his tenure?
Exactly.
How come he doesn't know how many illegals have been arrested for violent crimes in his city, yet he'll talk in platitudes about their members of the community, and the community loves that. That really does appeal to people on the other side, because they don't think in any level of detail.
Right.
And he played them like a fiddle.
And
he
this,
really did.
And this idea to suggest that overall, no matter what you think of the illegal situation, these are law-abiding and good citizens just because they came here for a better life. Knowing damn well we don't know anything about them, he's not vetted them, and worst off, he doesn't even have a count of who those people are. He doesn't know who they are. And I love this argument about saying that he knows they're taxpayers. And I'm like, they have Social Security numbers? There was no response to that.
Yeah, because that's an inconvenient fact.
Yeah, and the scary part is
they just send it in to the government, and maybe it does get taken out of their check, but they're not sending in any money at the end of the year because they got nowhere to send it.
Exactly.
And if they thought that sending it with some number that was attached to them might in the future be beneficial to say, hey, this is my Social Security number, or I set up a federal tax ID, however they do it, and say, over the years, I've submitted X amount of checks. Here they are. They don't do that. So
I know they don't.
Again, he's just appealing to a different crowd than the people who listen to you and people like Tom.
You got exactly. So, I believed when he said, my pleasure, sir. Thank you so much. I believe that comment somebody made in the chat room about having an employee ID number. Which in my case would say that defeats the purpose of them being undocumented, because if they have a document that allows them to pay taxes, the whole argument about them being undocumented is nonsense. Let's go to Mark in New Haven. How you doing, Mark?
Good, and yourself?
I'm all right, sir. What do you got for me?
So I can't wrap my head around Justin Elliger's reasoning to naming the street after a gentleman from New Haven that committed serious crimes. Not only that, was probably one of the most known people for distributing illegal substances in New Haven. So I can't quite understand why they would go and name a street after somebody with that type of record.
I can explain it to you. It's real simple. He was black, and we can't pay reparations. So here's the street corner. See, we care. That's all that is. That's all that is. See, we care. I'm going to wear my Amphar pin. See, I care. I care. Well, look at my pin. My pin says I care. That's all it is.
So if it was any other race, the key would have been locked up, thrown away. Nothing would have been said or done, nor would a street be named after anyone other than the race that they're going to be naming the street after.
Indeed. And the worst part is that civil rights leaders in the city of New Haven are sitting idly by while they get pat on the head and say, see, we named a street after the boy. And then they go, gee, Elliker, you're great. And they keep it moving. That's it.
Well, I don't have much to say for Justin Elliger. I was born and raised in New Haven, and all I see him doing is destroying what was such a good city to what is now I have to say, probably a third world country.
Yeah, indeed. It's it's not like we don't know. It's not like we don't know, Mark. And again, I feel bad for him, but you know what? Maybe he'll come back, maybe he won't. But you know what? In fact, in the next break, I'm going to explain that. Somebody said it was like, Reese, people aren't going to come to your show with that kind of showing. I need to explain that a little bit later on. But thank you for the call, Mark. I appreciate you, sir. Have
a great day.
You got it. You too. Let's take a break. We'll get to your phone calls in a second. But we got to take a break and we'll come back. I want to explain exactly what the model, if I may, because I don't think I've done that well. I've not articulated it well. What the model of the Reese on the Radio program is, and I hope you folks will understand it once I lay it out for you. So stick around. More news, more views, and of course your phone calls when we return. It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
Make this a November to remember. And
it ain't a third world country, though. That's ridiculous.
Terrace Subaru Outlet in Hartford.
You went too far.
Subaru Outlet, and you could save
hundreds. It's bad, but it ain't a third world country. No.
Ascents, lease for only $279 a month. Outbacks for just $249 a month. Or get 0% financing for even more savings. Get a brand new Impreza for an incredible $189 a month. Or a brand new Crosstrek for a low $259 a month. Over 400 brand new Subarus to choose from, like new Foresters for just $279 a month. And the November special deal is on brand new Subaru Solterras. This month you can lease one for a once-in-a-lifetime lease of just $89 a month. See why people from all over Connecticut buy and lease their new Subaru from Bertera Subaru Outlet in Hartford. Go to BerteraMotors.com to see all November Subaru specials and our complete inventory of pre-owned vehicles. Bertera Subaru Outlet in Hartford, exit 33 off I-91 at the corner of Weston and Jennings. Call 888-799-1150 for details.
I'm elder law attorney Haley Allaire. Our greatest reward is happy clients telling us that they're very thankful for our help.
Hi, I'm Kate from Farmington. When I called Allaire Elder Law, I didn't know exactly what I was looking for, but I knew I needed help. Allaire Elder Law helped me find my way. My husband had a stroke a year ago, and we worked hard to bring him home. I worried about what would happen if either of us had another medical emergency. Allaire Elder Law worked with us to develop a plan that will keep my husband safe at home while protecting our assets. What surprised me most was that I didn't just work with a lawyer. I worked with a wonderful team of people. Charlotte helped me rewrite my will to protect my husband. Amanda helped me gather materials and navigate the Medicaid application. Heather came to our home to meet us, understand our needs, and connect us with a healthcare agency. I'm grateful for the team at Allaire Elder Law.
Find out more at AllaireElderLaw.com. That's ALLAIRE.
Dale Burney, welcome. Jeff, how you doing? And you know what? I'm sorry that you guys missed me. I also heard some very, very unfortunate news about Blog Talk, that they're going to be closing down their whole operation on January 31st. So how do I put this the best way possible? Reese on the Radio airs 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 noon Pacific, right here at ReeseOnTheRadio.com. That's all I can tell you. Holler.
/free. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Simple. So, see what the world is like when ZipRecruiter does the hard work of hiring for you. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
1 minute.
Juggle a lot. And managing constipation with belly pain from my irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, with laxatives and fiber isn't enough. My doctor recommended a way to get ahead of it. Then I said yes to Linzess.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating.
Yes,
These
it
symptoms
was,
were
Jeff.
studied in
Yes, it
combination,
was.
not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea.
And 10.
Severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Stay locked in. Reese on the Radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Okay, so before I get back to the phone calls, which I will probably in the next hour, I'll try to get one phone call in here as soon as I possibly can. But I've never really described what the model of the Reese on the Radio show is. And when I was doing my podcast, I used to do it for 2 hours. There were times when I used to do it for 3 hours because I came from the morning show thing and it was like 3 hours worth of talk and all that other stuff. And when I brought it down, I wanted to do a podcast and bring it down to 1 hour. But now that in terrestrial radio, there's so many commercials and all that other stuff, that I understand the format of radio for a lot of people is one way. They get used to it. However, content matters to me. It does. Content really, really does matter. And interviews for me, sometimes good, sometimes bad. But I have to at least care about the subject in general. I know that there are things that people wish that radio would sort of adhere to. Sort of like, oh, I would love to have an interview with this person, that person. I gauge that a lot. I think about it a lot. I wake up, sometimes I have sleepless nights thinking about, should I have that? Should I not? I don't know if that's productive to the point. And I've learned that it's not always good. I'm not a big interview fan, not because I don't know how to interview. I've watched interviews all my life, but people want interviews to be this case where someone just sits idly by and you just ask them a question and the person meanders on and on and on about getting there. It's almost like a fluff piece, like some politicians coming on to promote their new movie. I hate that. It is boring. It is uninteresting to the audience. They might as well, at that point, just watch paint dry. Okay? Do I believe that interviews should be contentious? Yes. I do not believe they should be interrogations, but they should be contentious. They should be a push back and forth, especially about things that matter. I don't want to sit here and say, how do you think about this? And they go, well, I think this, that, and the third. And then people talk about a lot of cordial behavior. That's fine and good. If you're a cordial person, do that. If that floats your boat, if that's the type of person you are, no harm, no foul. I've got no criticisms for you. Just me, I need to get to the meat of it. And sometimes getting to the meat of it means that it has to be a UFC fight. Just is. Now, I know some people don't like that. I understand that, but I'm not here to please everyone. I'm here to give a radio show that I think is the best product that I could give to you. It's sort of like when McDonald's decided that they were no longer going to take care of people at 4 a.m. in the morning who had a hangover and decided to make salads. It ruined it. I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to serve salad. It's meat and potatoes at Reese on the Radio. That's it. And if you're in the mood for meat and potatoes, I'm your place. If not, no harm, no foul. But I promise you, I put every bit of my heart and soul into this show, and I will never, ever, ever come onto this microphone dragging my rump. I come in here ready to go. I'm literally sweating now. Like I'm always energized. Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center will tell you, they call me the Energizer Bunny.
It's what's for dinner, beef. It's what's for dinner.
Mark, you tell him, right? I come in here,
Meat
Mr.
and potatoes,
Energy.
baby.
Yeah, I'm coming in here with the meat and potatoes, man.
That's right.
Somebody asked me.
This ain't going to be some show where you show up and you got this tiny portion. You don't even know what you're eating. You ain't going to get that. You're going to get meat and potatoes here, folks.
That's right.
Reese, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, everyone. Hey, this traffic report is being brought to you by Stu Leonard's. If you are 91 southbound coming into Hartford, you've got slow traffic from exit 44 down to 42 as you move east Windsor into Windsor Locks. The left and left center lanes shut down on the Dexter Coffin Bridge with that road work. Stay right. Southbound 91 slows 33 down to 32 A and B. And again, you'll see some slow traffic as you move down by exit 23 in Rocky Hill down to 22 in the Route 9 interchange. More delays, 21 in Cromwell down to between 20 and 19 in Meriden, some road work down there. Now, northbound on the Wilbur Cross Parkway, we have an accident between 67 and 68 N and E on the Parkway. Right at the end of the Parkway, right lane is blocked there. Delays are approaching Miller Avenue in Meriden behind that. 291, 384 moving well. 2 westbound is slowing exit 4 to the 84 west merge. Also, if you are traveling into Middletown, 9 northbound delays Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. 84 westbound Waterbury, sluggish traffic from exit 25 up to the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound, a little sluggish, 10 to 11 in Newtown. If you are traveling into New Haven, 95 southbound losing some speed down by exit 44 in New Haven. This week, great deals at Stu Leonard's Farm Fresh Foods. Bone-in beef short ribs are only $7.99 per pound on the Stu's app. You save $3 per pound. Plus, organic extra large red seedless grapes are $2.29 a pound. That's $1 savings. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
To you by True Law. SickVets.com. WTIC weather.
Periods of sun this afternoon, the high of 51, though feels a little cooler with that north-northeast breeze. Under clear skies tonight, cold with the low down to 28. Mostly sunny, breezy Friday, the high of 59. A busy north-northwest wind at 10 to 20 miles an hour. Partly sunny, windy Saturday. Gusty winds, low humidity, and dry brush will result in a high fire threat throughout the weekend. The high of 60 Saturday. Sunny to partly cloudy, breezy Sunday. The high of 62. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
WTIC is 99 and throwing a year-long celebration to 100 years on the air. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
47 degrees, 4 o'clock. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. Elevated fire weather concerns continue. A red flag warning has now been issued for tomorrow. The website for conspiracy publication InfoWars is offline. That's after The Onion bought InfoWars at a bankruptcy auction. Outgoing owner Alex Jones defamed the Sandy Hook families with his bogus claims about the 2012 shooting and owes about $1.5 billion in damages. Attorney Chris Maddy represents some of the families. He spoke to MSNBC.
These families went through the most unspeakable loss you can imagine. And then as they were trying to come to terms with their loss, Alex Jones unleashed a mob on them, claiming that they were actors, that their children never existed, that this was all part of some plot. And they dealt with years and years of harassment, targeting, attacks, fear, moving from home to home. And so they finally decided that they weren't going to take it anymore.
Jones vows to challenge the sale. The Onion says InfoWars will be relaunched next year as a parody of itself. Officials from both parties are questioning the qualifications of several of Donald Trump's picks for powerful, sensitive jobs. The choice of former Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz for Attorney General is getting the most attention. Sources tell CBS News the House Ethics Committee will take a vote tomorrow on whether to release a report on its sexual misconduct investigation of Gaetz, who just resigned his seat.
House Ethics Committee is only empowered through its jurisdiction to investigate current members of Congress. That's where it gets its power from. If he's no longer here, they no longer have jurisdiction over him. So whatever became of that ethics investigation may stay secret in perpetuity, or it may somehow get released, which would be a break of protocol and honestly be a break of the rules of the House for any of that to get released.
CBS's Scott McFarland. Senators like Democrat Dick Durbin of Illinois are asking for that report to be made available for Senate confirmation hearings.
The sequence and timing of Mr. Gaetz' resignation from the House raises serious questions about the contents of the House Ethics Committee report.
Connecticut's number of pedestrian deaths is up by 3 in the last 4 days. There have been 60 so far this year. The state could reach the record 72 pedestrian deaths from 2022. State DOT Communications Director Josh Morgan says this is despite efforts to cut down on that figure.
Build sidewalks, build new crosswalks, upgrade to the latest crossing technologies, and also working with municipalities to approve and review automated enforcement devices, so speed cameras, red light cameras.
No need to hire stock help at a Brooklyn supermarket. It appears the future is now. We're talking about robots.
It takes just 6 minutes to box up an order after it's placed. Uber Eats delivers it, or a customer can pick it up at these lockers.
And process 4 or 5 times more the volume than a typical store can do online in any given day.
Save a Lot says this business model is less expensive to operate than a traditional store would be in an urban area like New York.
On Wall Street, the Dow down 207, S&P dropped 36, the NASDAQ minus 123. In sports, NHL, the Rangers host San Jose, the Bruins in Dallas. Baseball's Tampa Bay Rays will play their home schedule next year at the Yankees' nearby spring training ballpark, which only seats 11,000. Tropicana Field's roof was ripped off in a recent hurricane. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
Men, 1 minute. A time of love and joy, but if you suffer from erectile dysfunction, the season can be tough on you.
This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and if you and your partner are struggling because of ED, change it up this year. Give the best gift you can give to the one you love by treating your ED and restoring your relationship. In Northeast Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED, and as a Prometic restorative health practice, we've literally seen thousands of relationships renewed across the nation. Plus, with treatments having success rates well over 90%, coupled with many treatment options, we can likely find the right one for you. You may even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us and give your partner the best gift you can give this season, a renewed, restored relationship. Your first visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956 or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 5 offices across the Northeast to serve you. Northeast Men's Health, a Prometic restorative health practice.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Oh, man.
This could very well be the stupidest person on the face of the earth.
Do I look that stupid? Yes, you do.
Now, I do not like to talk about women and their cycle, as it were, folks. I won't talk about it. If you want me to crawl into a fetal position, scared to death, just surround me and say menstrual cycle. I can't. Even hearing it, I can't. But if you go to reasoontheradio.com, you will read the stupidest thing that I read today, and it is about a group of young ladies. I'm so sad that this has happened to an Ivy League school like Yale. It's called Yale Bleeds, and that's all I'm going to say about it. It's the craziest thing I've ever read. I cannot believe I read it, but there it was. And again, if I find it, it's the first thing that I read that's stupid, I have to post it on there. Those are the rules. And I saw this, and it's there. So go read it. These girls, they created a group at Yale that has to do with the menstrual cycle, and it is telling, is exactly how far gone the Ivy League has turned into this social experiment that is doing nothing for our youngest and brightest. It's very, very sad. Also on reasonoradio.com, I guess there's a thing called COP29 that's going on, and it's a climate summit each year. And I've got a video that's called, there's a section called, Well, That Was Weird. And this reporter is inside the cafeteria, again, at the climate summit. It's the UN climate summit. And they're serving food in sort of a cafeteria-like way, so they have different vendors that are there. What he found out at this climate summit will make you tear in laughter. It's that bad. Again, what do climate activists believe about climate change, especially when it comes to food? They believe vegetables are good, meat is bad. You have to go to reasonoradio.com to watch this video and see the actual people there who are talking about climate events and climate change. This summit, what they did at this diner or at this food court, which was, it's the glory. Everything these folks are talking about is a complete and utter lie. It's BS. It's complete and utter BS. We'll get back and we'll get to your phone calls, I promise, but also, Matt Gaetz, we've got to get into him, and I've got audio sound bites. There's a reason why the left is going nuts about Matt Gaetz, and when you hear this audio, you'll know why. Let's get another check of the traffic with Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon, everyone. Well, if you're heading toward Hartford and you are on the southbound side of I-91, look for delays from exit 33 down to 32A and B. You'll see a little slowdown as you move down between exit 24 and 22 in Rocky Hill. More slow traffic 21 down to just prior to 19 in Meriden with some road work there. Northbound 91 moving well, Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84, you're tied up 56 Governor Street out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound slowing about a half mile before 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 2 westbound is slowing 8 to 5D in Glastonbury, and again from exit 4 to the 84 west merge East Hartford. 291 through 84, that looks good east of the river. 9 southbound, a little slow at the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. If you are traveling 15 northbound, right at the end of the Wilbur Cross Parkway, an accident reported between 67 and 68 and an E. The right lane is shut down there. Looks like delays are approaching Miller Avenue behind that issue. Westbound 84 into Waterbury slows from exit 25 up to 22. And if you're traveling 84 eastbound in Newtown, slow traffic approaching approaching 10 up to exit 11. And if you're heading toward New Haven, 95 southbound, a little slow moving down by exit 44 on the southbound side of 95. Traffic and weather together on the 8th, WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
It's been a chilly day under clear skies tonight. It'll be cold, the low down to 28. Mostly sunny, breezy for us, milder as we head into Friday, the high 59. Gusty winds throughout the weekend are going to lead to a high fire threat throughout the weekend. The winds on Friday out of the north-northwest, 10 to 20 miles an hour. Partly sunny, still windy Saturday, the high of 60. Northwest winds at 15 to 25. Sunday, still quite breezy, sunny to partly cloudy. Warmer, though, the high up to 66. North-northwest winds 10 to 20 Sunday. Variably cloudy Monday, a shower possible, the high of 64. Breezy and cooler Tuesday, sunshine, a few clouds, the high of 57. Right now, Waterbury at 43. It's 46 in Danbury and Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Hi, it's Alice Shattuck, and I just want to give a huge thank you and congratulations to Awaken 180 Weight Loss on their 10-year anniversary. Paige and her team have changed lives, mine included, with a solution that lasts. I'm glad I found Awaken 180 and confident you will be too.
I'm at Big Y, and my son calls to tell me tomorrow's the holiday cookie swap. Then I see the baker putting out these fresh cookies, and she says, 2 dozen of these. Wrap them individually. Done. Nice.
Here's to happy holidays and tasty traditions. Big Y, nicely done.
Love was in the air, and Cupid got quite a workout at last year's Manchester Road Race. Longtime runners Nithya Cannon and David Kampfman of East Hartford were married near the starting line, and then they ran the course in their wedding attire. As last year's champion Morgan Beatlescombe proposed to his girlfriend Lexi Heeger near the finish line, moments after he won the race. You'll love this year's Manchester Road Race. Enter now at manchesterroadrace.com.
One minute.
Consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
It's Reese on the radio. And don't say we didn't warn you on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, let's get right back to the phones. 860-522-WTIC, and then we'll get into Matt Gaetz and the attorney general job that everybody seems to be going nuts about, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Rob licked the boot. It's been a while for you, sir. What's going on?
Not much. I appreciate you being honest about, interaction, hopefully, and, not afraid of whatever you were just saying a few minutes ago. But, meat and potatoes and all that stuff, and listeners' concern. But here's a couple things some things that concern me deeply, and you know what they are.
Sure.
And I'll leave that to the last issue. But Biden, we were told that he was 100% fine.
Yeah.
He was good, and he was competent. So now, why aren't those people in trouble just like Alex Jones for lying?
Well, because it never resulted in anything, right? Like there had to be someone that was harmed by those things.
Well, we voted for somebody else because of what we were told. I don't know. We voted for,
No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But what was the next thing?
But the meat and potatoes thing and protect and blah, blah, blah. But regarding the teacher in Cheshire and a public official, and basically, I'm going to call it diplomatic immunity.
You believe
it's almost the same?
You think that she should have some form of diplomatic immunity because of her station?
It's the union that's going to protect her. They've determined that the prosecution is determined by the labor agreement laws that we just pay, and she could have been on paid administrative leave for 10 to 15 years.
True.
While this investigation makes sure it wasn't AI initiated, and maybe that thing was fake. In the meantime, she's laughing all the way to the bank.
That's possible.
But and this other thing is about this Oklahoma. This is where I may strike a nerve with you. Oklahoma City, there was a public official that did something that was worse, 10 times worse than what that girl did yesterday. And this thing in Oklahoma City just happened yesterday.
Okay, well, I'll have to look into that, so I don't know much about it.
But you will not produce it on the air because it's not a teacher.
Why don't you let me investigate it, and then I'll find out. Send the information to us. Just
Google Oklahoma City public official.
Okay, all right, no problem. I'll look it up.
And please praise it on the air, or because it's not just in Cheshire, it's everywhere.
Well, I'm sure it's everywhere, but again, a local story is a local story.
You got the immunity. But it's nationwide. It ain't just here.
Oh no! I am not disputing. Listen, what we are understanding, I believe. First, let's understand something.
But immunity.
Rob, hear me out. Let me finish. Annie Dunleavy is a microcosm of a problem within the Democrat Party. I'm not going to sit up here and say that the entire Democrat Party is responsible, but they do produce this. They're responsible for producing it. They all may not feel that way, but they are happy to get these radicals out there to do things like that. Some people cheer it on because other people are afraid to do it themselves.
It's good that you are, allowed to hear both sides. But here's a joke for you. You know what DEI? I never knew what that means.
Didn't learn it.
To a convenience store. Exactly. You got a great show.
Thank you, sir.
You beat me to the punch.
No problem. Thank you, boss man. Let's go with who's next. I know that. Give me a sec. Oh, Ralph in South Carolina. He's been on for a little while. How you doing, Ralph?
Good, Reese. A couple things. There's an idiot in Massachusetts who's a U.S. senator who is criticizing the ability or the credentials of those people that Trump has nominated for the
Are you talking about Pocahontas and her criticism of Pete Hegseth?
Might be. That's very possible. Now, what qualifications do you need to be a U.S. senator?
Get elected.
You got to be a U.S. citizen, 25 and breathing.
Right.
All right. You don't have to have a brain at all.
No.
And this is the same woman whose party nominated someone for vice president who believes that young men get a menstrual cycle.
Indeed.
And this is a woman criticizing somebody else. I mean, I'm sorry. The people of Massachusetts, again, they'd vote for a glass of water if it was a Democrat. And Connecticut does the same thing. And that's really sad. It's really sad, Reese, because they don't look at people's credentials and what they stand for.
I'm hoping, listen, look, and I think there's a reckoning, Ralph, I think there's a reckoning coming for the Democrat Party and within itself. I don't think something else is coming from it, but I think there's a reckoning within inside their party, recognizing that, and I think it was Carville. I think James Carville said it best. He says, look, if we don't get rid of this woke identity nonsense, we're not going to get elected for years because the American people have had enough. And now it's being completely ignored. Like our ears are shut to it. Even those on the left are sick and tired of it. And I talk to them all the time. I am sick and tired of people suggesting to me that someone should be hired based on their gender, their sexual orientation, or their skin color. And even people on their side are also tired of it because they are being hamstrung by those ideologies. So
I want to ask you too. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all I'm going to say. Guy, real quick.
Reese, what happened yesterday afternoon when you talked to that mayor or whoever it happened to be?
People seem to be saying that it was a good interview. It was a good back and forth. They do believe that, as Joe and Simsbury said, that Elliker put on quite a master class in platitudes. But I expected that. That's exactly what it was.
No facts or truth.
Nah. Wait, listen, we were never going to see eye to eye, but I wanted to hold him to account and see where he stood. He's steadfast. He is, his feet are firmly planted into his ideology. So, and I'm good with that.
So people like that, truth, you can't convince them with the truth then.
Nope. And you know what? And it's obvious that he is in the perfect place. Look, Elliker can run for office for a millennia, and the people in New Haven will continue to elect him. They don't see anything than what he sees. He's in a perfect place. If you were to take Elliker out of his comfort zone, that is New Haven, he couldn't get elected as dog catcher. He just couldn't.
No, I agree. And this is, I guess, that we talk about a lot that really bothers me. Why don't those people just, I don't care what party, Republican, Democrat, look at their credentials, look what they stand for, what do they believe? And that's what you base your vote on, not what party they're with.
Now, they're dyed-in-the-wool liberals over in New Haven. I think that's just the case. But, sometimes people vote for their own demise because they're comfortable with it. It's the devil you know. You know what I mean? The devil you know.
Absolutely. You have a great night.
Thank you, sir. You too. You too. And let's go with who's next. Oh, why not? I think it's worth it. Tim is in Hamden. I'm sure he is calling about my interview with Justin Elliker yesterday. How are you, Tim? Welcome back.
I am fine, thank you. Justin, I do happen to know him personally.
Okay.
He gets reelected because, ready for this? There are no Republicans in New Haven. No one's running against him. There is no opposition
That is true.
party. And it's so bad, actually. We had Greens elected to the city council. This was years and years ago. Green Party people, okay.
Mhm.
That was the only minority. They ran so hard. They purposely targeted those races just to have, 15 all city councilors, all Democrats.
Tim, I
else.
meant to ask you this about the general election here in Connecticut. And I thought of you and Jill Stein's numbers in the state. Do you know what the numbers were? I'm sure you saw them.
Not offhand and stuff. It was just below 1%. I mean, it was essentially, it was just a media blackout all across the country.
She garnered 18,000 votes, more than 18,000. But here's my question to you, and this is not like an own. I'm not trying to own you or anything like that. But one of the things that you hear in the state of Connecticut and other places around is that there isn't enough representation of independent party candidates. Like, why do we have to have Democrat and Republicans? We should have a third party. You made that argument to me, but during this election season, why do you think people like Jill Stein don't do well, or independent candidates for that matter, do well in a place like Connecticut? Is it because they are enthralled in the two-party system and there's only a small smattering of people who like independents or Green Party candidates?
Like I said, we've gotten Greens elected to Hartford, New Haven, Willimantic, dozens of city, New London, all sorts of places all across. It's more of the individuals. People know the individuals, and they say, okay, we'll put this person on the city council. We'll put this, person that way. But as far as statewide, you just don't hear it. I mean, we had situations like in Ohio real quickly where Jill Stein was on the printed ballots, but they were told they could not vote for her because she switched her vice presidential candidate and stuff. So even though she was the top person and stuff, we had this printed with somebody else's name, and so they left somebody else's name, and Jill Stein's on there. Nevada, they gave us the wrong forms. They told us they were the right forms. They did everything in the world. New York.
So you believe that it's not, you don't think that it's because there's no real appetite for independent or Green Party candidates. You think that there's a concerted effort to take them or keep them out of the mainstream.
Oh, sure. Democratic Party for the first time sent AOC after us. They sent all sorts of people after us. Bernie Sanders, is absolutely, convinced we don't need, even though he was elected as an independent himself, he definitely, sides with the Democratic Party, endorses all the Democrats and everything, and goes right in lockstep. And then he complains afterwards, I didn't get what I wanted. Well, you're siding with the devil that brought you. And I just real quickly pivot to the teacher, okay?
Oh, don't leave it. Yeah, real quick.
Real quick. I want to know, if you listen to what she actually said and everything like that, and people, Ben Proto and Sampson, people saying she should lose her teaching license and that sort of thing, block her out from becoming that. What she said was, if these MAGA people come after my people, gays, women, other people and stuff that she considers to be her part of her family, that she will, defend them and fight back.
Okay, stop. Let me stop you there. Hold on. Let me stop you there. Okay, so she's incredibly vague about what she means by if you come for black people, gay people. She says that in the video. You don't know exactly what she's talking about when you say coming for those people. Now, if she had said, if you had tried to physically harm those people, you'll be laying out on a stretcher. No harm, no foul. She's saying that if you attack mine in a physical way, I'll attack you in a physical way. But in no way does she make that distinction in what she says.
And it is a rant. It is a rant.
Of course it is.
That a lot of people and all that sort of stuff, are objections. And I've heard so many on the right and everything else do the exact same thing.
Whoa. Don't make this about a right thing or a left thing. Listen to me. This is a reasonable thing for people to be upset about because this is a special ed school teacher. Hell, if she was just a school teacher, I'm throwing in the special ed teacher because there's a curveball about it. It's like she's dealing with the most vulnerable in our school systems, those who need special attention. This woman is supposed to have the ultimate compassion and understanding. Wait. The ultimate understanding, okay, of those of us in our country, especially children who are underserved. To go out there and to threaten violence in the position she is, clearly she does not understand her station. She doesn't.
Not her station. First off, she didn't say it at school. She didn't
I don't
say
care.
it anyway with that sort of stuff. And I would never advise her to say anything like that whatsoever.
Okay,
but
so this is not a people on the right thing. I said, look, should she have been fired? That would have been up to the school system. That would have been up to the parents who were at that school to make that argument. But hold on.
We don't need state officials.
She did the right thing. Hold on. She did the right thing and resigned. Why? Because she's contrite, or at least what she said to Dennis House, that she is somewhat contrite. I'll listen to the full interview and I'll make my assessment thereafter, but I'm going to give her that opportunity to say it. And I also said, Tim, if you heard me, I said that I believe that if she is contrite, and I'll even go so far as to say what Joe and Simsbury said. Why not come on Reese on the Radio and actually answer those questions that you and anyone else brings up?
Joe Simsbury is absolutely crazy. If you listen to
how is he crazy? He said, why doesn't she come on? How is he crazy? Wait. You're calling somebody crazy because he says that she should come on and face the audience of the people that she made these claims towards?
It is not a public forum. This is a conservative talk show host where she essentially would go into the people, to the very people and all that stuff. You guys don't get the right to decide.
You know what? You don't think that we do. Let me tell you something, Tim. Tim, you don't think that we deserve the right, but guess what? You don't make the rules.
Yeah.
We make the rules. I'm sorry. I got in my evil. I was feeling a little like evil, maniacal. Let's just get to the traffic. Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center.
Wow. I was like, is that Vincent Price or is that Reese on the
Radio? That's the way I felt, man.
I know, seriously. I could feel it through the radio. Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. If you're heading into downtown Hartford right now, you're on the southbound side of 91. You've got delays getting by exit 42, 44 down to 42, East Windsor to Windsor Locks. We've got some road work southbound on the Dexter Coffin Bridge. I was in the left and left center lanes. After that, slowing 33 down to 32 A and B. Another bump down by exit 23 in Rocky Hill. And then you're back in the stop and go again from 21 down to just about 19 in Meriden with some road work there. Northbound 91 a little slow, up by exit 16 in Meriden. We have an accident northbound on the Parkway, and that is between 67 and 68 and an E. Right lane is blocked there. Delays are approaching Miller Avenue behind that. After that, 91 northbound moving well Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 tied up approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 45 Flatbush. 84 eastbound is running slow half mile before 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 2 westbound, some tight traffic, 8 up to 5D in Glastonbury, and a little slow again as you merge to the 84 west. 291 through 84 okay east of the river. 9 southbound slowing Harbor Park up to the Aragoni Bridge. If you are traveling into Berlin, 9 northbound, you've got delays 31 up to exit 32. 84 westbound Waterbury slowing from exit 26 up to 22 in Waterbury, 84 eastbound tight, 3 to 5 in Danbury, and again 10 to 11 in Newtown. A little slow south 95 New Haven, approaching 46 down to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8s, WTIC News Talk 1080.
If you're experiencing low energy, brain fog, or bloating, then your body might need a detox. Active Liver from New Nordic makes it easy to detox your body all year long without major changes to your diet or lifestyle. Active Liver is available in stores at CVS or online at Amazon.
WTIC weather.
Periods of sun this afternoon, the high of 51, though it'll feel cooler with a bit of a breeze out of the north-northeast. Under clear skies, cold tonight, the low down to 28. Mostly sunny, breezy on Friday, the high of 59. The north-northwest winds up to 10 to 20 miles an hour. The combination of low humidity, dry brush, and gusty winds will result in a high fire threat right through the weekend. Partly sunny, windy Saturday, the high of 60. Sunny to partly cloudy, still breezy Sunday, the high 62. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
46 degrees at 4:30. Elevated fire weather concerns continue. A red flag warning will be in effect tomorrow. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. Another cabinet nomination is reported out of Mar-a-Lago.
CBS News special report. Sources tell us that President-elect Trump plans to nominate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to head the Department of Health and Human Services. Kennedy has been a controversial figure, often referred to as a vaccine denier, something he denied in this July interview.
I've never been anti-vaccine. I've said that for 20 years. That's a pejorative that is applied to me in order to silence the legitimate criticism, the legitimate questions I have about vaccine safety and efficacy.
Kennedy also gave credence to the false claim of Haitians eating dogs and cats in Springfield, Illinois. CBS's Olivia Rinaldi.
He felt like it was appropriate for Trump to bring that up on a debate stage, an unfounded, untrue rumor that had spread from Twitter. So it kind of leans into some of those conspiracy theories and rumors that we see online he's willing to talk about.
Again, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., now Trump's selection for HHS Secretary. CBS News special report. I'm Peter King.
The conspiracy outlet InfoWars is offline after The Onion bought the company at a bankruptcy auction backed up by Sandy Hook families. Former owner Alex Jones defamed the families with false claims about the shooting and owes about $1.5 billion in damages. Attorney Chris Maddy represents some of the families. He appeared on MSNBC.
When they had opportunities to accept money from Alex Jones, they refused to do it because they knew that that would only mean Alex Jones would stay on the air and be able to continue to hurt other families like theirs. It's astonishing what they've accomplished because they've acted from a position of integrity and principle.
Jones vows to challenge the sale. The Onion says InfoWars will be relaunched in January as a parody of itself. The exclusive launch advertiser will be the group Everytown for Gun Safety. On Wall Street, the Dow was down 207, S&P dropped 36, NASDAQ was off 123 points. Sports, NHL, the Rangers host San Jose, the Bruins in Dallas. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them, the right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Are you a proud Connecticut business owner? We are too, with more than 45 years of experience handling business transactions for small and mid-sized businesses. And we know that not every business relationship works out as planned. If you find yourself in a dispute, call the law firm of Brown, Painderis & Scott. Our team of business lawyers have over 100 years of combined experience. At BPS Lawyers, you get more than a lawyer. You get a law firm. Call us at 860-CALL-BPS or visit bpslawyers.com. Nick Painderis is responsible for the content of this ad.
What do you call the Friday deal, huh? The Block Friday deal. Because you block online threats. Black Friday, Block Friday. Get it? It's hilarious. Get the NordVPN Black Friday deal and block online threats now. NordVPN will encrypt your online traffic. Its Threat Protection Pro tool will defend you against web trackers, malicious websites, and malware-ridden downloads. Get the special Black Friday deal at NordVPN.com and enjoy safer internet daily. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.
Woohoo! Another girls' night out. I'm so stressed from shopping, I couldn't find anything. Have you tried shopping jewelry television, JTV? I don't know. Everyone in my family is so different. JTV has thousands of jewelry styles, artisan, diamonds, pearls, colored gemstones, watches, even gift sets. I shop on TV and online.
New JTV customers save up to $40 when you shop jtv.com/radio.
Now, can you relax? Yes. Another round? Yes.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
We're back. And I'm reading the comments in the comment section at reeseonradio.com. This is my favorite one. Meat and potatoes, try jerky and tater tots. That came from Tim. He's so mad. Like, what do you think? We're in like junior high school? Don't start. Let's take a call real quick. She's been on hold for a little bit, and I don't like to keep people on hold, but I got to get to the Matt Gaetz thing in the next break. Let's go to Sarah in Southington. How you doing, Sarah? Thanks for holding. Sarah? I know you're there. She must have put the phone down. Okay, that's all right. It happens sometimes to the best of us. Why not take Scott? How we doing, Scott?
I'm doing fine, thanks, Reese. Good to be speaking with you. I've heard on your station today a couple times. I've been out and about on the car radio on and on the news at the top of the hours. They have stated that in Connecticut, at this point in the year, there are 62 pedestrian deaths. Have you heard that?
62 pedestrian deaths. In other words, car accidents where pedestrians have been killed.
That's what I'm, I don't know. That's what I'm assuming. They didn't specifically say. They're all.
Yeah, I think if you use the term
related.
Right. If you're using the term pedestrian deaths, I would assume that the word, the phrasing means there was a vehicular incident.
Yeah. I want to just share a story. I hope there's somebody over there at the DOT that is listening.
Okay.
I recently was in Boulder, Colorado. Population 100,000.
Mm-hmm.
30% of that is college-age students.
Okay.
100,000, it's 5,000 feet above sea level. They get snow there. DOT, they get snow. Now, here's my point. In that city, for those who have been there, they can confirm it. They have a way of handling those people who don't know how to handle the gas pedal.
Oh.
Oh.
No, I know I knew what you were getting at. I knew what you were getting at.
Okay. They don't put up a bunch of signs that say, you're going 20, you should be going 10, all of that. What they do is on secondary roads as well as off, wherever needed. Let me just say it that way, wherever needed, because there are many what we call those bumps.
Oh, speed bumps. Yeah. I've got to go. I've got to go to a break, Scott. But I do understand what you're saying. Is that some places are able to navigate that, and others are not. I totally get that point. But I do have to go to a hard break, and I apologize to you, sir. Let's get another check of our traffic with Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. And Sarah's back. We'll get to her in a little bit too. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. This traffic report being brought to you by Whittlesey. And
I hated having to cut them off. What was I going to do?
Hartford right now. Look for some slow traffic as you move from exit 33 down to 32 A and B, and then you've got delays again from.
Yeah, some people have slower speech than others, so you got to fill it in for them.
Yeah.
The Parkway between 67 and 68. N&E has cleared, so have the delays. Northbound 91 moving while Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84, you're tied up 56 Governor Street out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound slows a half mile before 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 2 westbound slowing 8 to 5D, again from exit 4 to the 84 West merge. 9 southbound, you've got slow traffic now from the 372 interchange exit 27 down into the Mixmaster on 9 southbound in Middletown. If you are traveling 691 eastbound, look for some slow traffic as you move between 7 and 5 as you move Cheshire into Meriden. Westbound 84 Waterbury, some sluggish traffic, 26 in Cheshire up to exit 22 in Waterbury. 84 eastbound slowing 10 to 11 in Newtown. If you are traveling into New Haven, 95 southbound, look for delays
Will
from
the
46
Department of
down
Justice
to exit
provide to the
44
committee
in New Haven. Whittlesey wants your business to succeed. Whittlesey is more than an accounting firm. They're advocates for your business, delivering a robust
you
set
were
of
a judge.
solutions, including audit, tax, technology, cybersecurity, and advisory services. Learn more at WAdvising.com. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Certainly been a chilly day overnight tonight under clear skies. Cold, the low down to 28. Mostly sunny, breezy, and milder for Friday. Gusty winds throughout the weekend, along with low humidity and dry brush, will result in a high fire threat all weekend as well. For Friday, the high of 59, the north-northwest winds kicking up to 10 to 20 miles an hour. Saturday, partly sunny, still windy, the high 60, northwest winds at 15 to 25. Still very breezy Sunday, sunny to partly cloudy. Mild, though, the high 66, north-northwest winds 10 to 20. Monday, still mild, clouds and sun, not as breezy, the high of 64. And breezy once again Tuesday, cooler as well with sunshine, a few clouds. The high 57, the northwest winds back up to 10 to 20 on Tuesday. Mansfield 43, also 43 in New London, 46 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Is thinning hair or a receding hairline making you self-conscious? Try Hair Grow from New Nordic. Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start feeling your best with Hair Grow. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com. Start your day with all the latest sports information. Matt Soroyce has updates from the Cordell and Cordell Sports Desk at 15 and 45 past every hour. Only on WTIC News Talk 1080.
In a divorce, it's important to have a partner you can count on. I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell, a domestic litigation and family law firm. We champion your rights as an individual and your role as a parent, taking an aggressive approach in court while leveling the legal playing field in domestic matters. That's what a champion does. That's what Cordell & Cordell can do for you. Visit us at CordellCordell.com.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Hartford area attorneys. Phyllis McCutcheon, licensed in Connecticut. Online at CordellCordell.com.
Feel like everything's cloudy. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Got it.
Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
First time seeing my son, I feel like my life did a 180. He really a definition of like why he loves somebody.
Through all of fatherhood's first, never stop being a dad. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this? Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the U.S. Here we go. Your state forester and the Ad Council.
Hold still. This is only going to hurt a little. It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, I got to get into the Matt Gaetz audio and that story real quick. But Sarah called back, and I want to give her an opportunity before I get into it. Sarah is in Southington.
Yes,
How are
hi.
you? Sorry we couldn't get you the last time. How are you?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I stepped away. I was trying to, do dinner stuff while I was waiting, and I realized, oh, my God, I got into it too late.
That's okay. What's going on?
I just wanted to say very quickly, keep your show the way it is. First time I heard you, it was electrifying. I love your show, Reese, and I think you're one of the greatest hosts there is.
Wow.
Don't let people start messing around with you that you got to do this, you got to do that. You got a perfect show. You get through the information, and which is great.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying yourself and enjoying the show. That means everything to me. I know I can't please everyone, but it's nice to know those who appreciate the show.
And I think a lot more people appreciate you than the people who call up. And some people just like to call up and whine all the time anyway.
I've been married 4 times. I know the drill.
You know the drill, right?
Sometimes it's just there's just no winning. I get it. Thank you so much, Sarah. I appreciate that. I'm glad you called back so I can get you in, and also so you can sing my praises. I apologize. Go on.
The second thing I wanted to say is that the questions the Democrats are going right now through an hysterical crisis because they've been used to having their way for like 100 years.
Right. They were on the right side of history for a long time, and that was the argument that they played.
And then unfortunately they got a little lazy about it and stopped paying attention to the citizens of the United States who have the right to vote.
Mm-hmm.
And they forgot that.
Yeah, the free will and all,
Yeah. And any star in the world, is not going to sway people because they live in an alternate existence.
Indeed.
On the Milky Way, where everything is wonderful and beautiful, and they have $5 million to, go buy a cup of coffee with flakes in it.
Sarah, I'll tell you that. Just knowing that Megan Thee Stallion got $5 million to go up on stage for 8 minutes, that was wow.
Yeah, that was like, oh, how patriotic can you be?
Yeah. Oh, that was uncomfortable to learn. Thank you so much.
Madonna, it's just, but you're a great show. I love listening to you. I'm so glad you finally got your own spot, and I hope you're totally successful. I think you should go national. Really, you're like such a breath of fresh air.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you, and I won't take any more of your time.
No problem. It was totally worth it because you were talking about me. No, thank you. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. God bless. Thank you so much. Okay, let me get into this Matt Gaetz audio, and then we'll get into it. Okay, folks, first I want to say, before we get into the Matt Gaetz thing, all I heard in beginning of this election, right, was that we needed to have younger people. We got to have the young folks, right? There's too many old white guys, right? We get too many old people. We need a new generation, young. That's all I heard. I would push back, and I was like, why? Because they're young? This means what? This means that does this mean that they had some sort of beat that the rest of us didn't have? And it was like, no, we just need people younger. All these old people. Too many old people. It's the old way. We need a new way. Okay, fine. Donald Trump gave it to you. Tulsi Gabbard is 43. Pete Hegseth is 44. And of course, Matt Gaetz is 42. And I'll admit, Matt Gaetz is kind of a bomb thrower. Oh, what the hell? He's a bomb thrower. Right? He comes in like a Moab. He just is, and he doesn't care. He just does not care. And I kind of like that. And he has been tapped to be the Attorney General. But what is it that everyone is up in arms about? Well, it may have been this exchange with the current Attorney General. You'll remember it, folks. This was Matt Gaetz questioning Merrick Garland about whether or not the DOJ was communicating with Fonnie Willis, Jack Smith, and any other people, Alvin Bragg, and all the lawfare going up against Donald Trump.
Will the Department of Justice provide to the committee all documents, all correspondence between the department and Alvin Bragg's office and Fonnie Willis's office and Letitia James's office?
The offices you're referring to are independent offices of state.
I get that. The question is whether or not you will provide all of your documents and correspondence. That's the question. I don't need a history lesson.
Well, I'm going to say again, we do not control those offices. They make their own
The question is whether you
decisions.
communicate with them, not whether you control them. Do you communicate with them, and will you provide those
We
communications?
make a request We'll refer it to our Office of Legislative Affairs.
But see, here's the thing. You come in here and you lodge this attack that it's a conspiracy theory, that there is coordinated lawfare against Trump. And then when we say, fine, just give us the documents, give us the correspondence, and then if it's a conspiracy theory, that will be evident. But when you say, well, we'll take your request, and then we'll sort of work it through the DOJ's accommodation process, then you're actually advancing the very dangerous conspiracy theory that you're concerned about.
And that's the fear. What do you think Matt Gaetz is going to do once he gets in there? If it is indeed a recess appointment and he gets in there, what do you think he's going to say to every person inside the DOJ? Hey, open up that book. Yeah. Open that up. Yeah, where are the documents with Letitia James? Yeah, that's it right there. Give those to me. Yeah, Alvin Bragg. What's he doing? Let's read that. That's what's going to happen. Oh, it's going to be a mess, folks. In the brilliant words of Donald Trump, it'll be a bloodbath. That's exactly what's going to happen. That's what they're afraid of. Even the Republicans are concerned about it. They know what Matt Gaetz is going to do. They know that's going to be, he knows it. And think about it, folks. Let's go one step further. Here's a guy that if you've read every report, you've even heard at the top of the hour in the news on this network. They've gone so far as to accuse Matt Gaetz of sex trafficking. Well, what do you think the access that Matt Gaetz is going to have as Attorney General? Could it be the Epstein tapes or the Epstein files? Yes, they would be. How about the Diddy files? Do you think a guy like Matt Gaetz, old rogue Matt Gaetz, might deliver that to the American people? You're damn right he will, and we applaud him all the way to the newspapers. The DOJ loves to leak, and what a great leaker Matt Gaetz would be. Let's go a little further.
Now, you were a judge, once nominated the highest court in our country. When you were a judge, I'm just curious, did you ever make political donations to partisan candidates?
No.
No, and you didn't because that would create the potential appearance of impropriety.
I didn't because there's a federal rule barring federal judges from making contributions.
Right, but under that same theory of attacks on the judicial process, like, shouldn't someone be owed like a jury of their peers and a judge that's non-biased rather than getting a judge from your political opponent's donor file?
I'm well aware that you're not asking a hypothetical. You're asking me to comment on a jury verdict in another jurisdiction which has to be respected. I won't comment on it. That case is still ongoing.
Mr. Attorney General, I hadn't asked you about the verdict yet. We were getting there. I was talking about the judge. And so let me ask you this question about your time as a judge. Was there ever a time when you were a judge when you had a family member who was personally profiting off of the notoriety of a case that was before your court?
I'm going to say again, it's very clear you're asking me to comment on a case in another jurisdiction.
No, wait, hold on, Mr. Attorney General. Did you ever have a family member profit off of the notoriety of any case that you sat over?
Say again, you're asking
yes or no?
You're asking me to comment on a case currently.
Well, it seems you're connecting the dots, Mr. Attorney General. I'm just asking you as to a general principle, but you are aware that Judge Merchan's daughter was profiting off of this prosecution.
Imagine what Matt Gaetz is going to reveal as Attorney General. Imagine. This has been, and what we've seen over the last 20, 30 years, and I'm talking about under Republican rule as well, what we may find out, the filth that has gone on inside of our government, now exposed for everyone to see. That's what they're fearful of. The people who are screaming the loudest, this is the most reprehensible appointment I've ever seen in my entire life. When I hear them talking about it, the first thing I ask is, are you implicated in something? Do you have something to lose? Are you somewhere on those tapes or on those files? John Bolton? Did I say his name right? John Bolton. You see all these people running to the news websites. Oh, Matt Gaetz, I can't believe that he would be allowed to do it. They're running they're going nuts. They know this guy is going in there with one agenda. Expose. God, is it going to be beautiful? It's going to be glorious. Isn't it? 860-522-WTIC. Mike is in Plainville. How are you, sir?
I want him to kick that door right down.
Tell me you don't.
Okay? And then if there's cement behind that fake door, then blow it up, breach it, go in there and pull out all this stuff. Okay? I can't wait.
I know. Listen to me. This is, for about time, must-see TV is on our side of the playing field. Because, again,
there's going to be a lot.
Yeah, watching these people twist themselves and scream and holler to the rafters. I mean, I've never heard so many people scream bloody murder in my life. But, and here's the thing. They've attacked Matt Gaetz so bad that they know that he wishes to seek retribution. They're trying to put this on Trump. They're saying him picking Matt Gaetz is clearly him going after his enemies. No, this is actually saying, hey, Matt, want some retribution? I've got the perfect job for you.
I tell you what, I knew when Tim called in a while ago that, it's going great, but it happens a lot with him. It goes nice and smooth, and then you guys start hitting some rough waters.
You know what? And I love, listen to me. Matt, let me tell you this about Tim. Tim doesn't understand. I love that guy. He is
you guys make me laugh.
Thank you. I love that guy.
Hilarious.
He thinks I hate him. But he wants that.
You
I
don't
love
hate
the
anybody.
hell out of Tim. He's one of my favorite people to call because even when he's nice, he's nice. But then when he doesn't get his way, he becomes vicious. This is the reason why I don't play with certain animals.
I just don't get it. New Haven is the city of Yale University, and the mayor, he got himself into a pickle yesterday, and he's trying to get himself out. He really couldn't, and now these people keep. What term is he in? First or second?
I think it's a second. I'm almost certain it's second. Somebody correct me on that.
Doesn't people see anybody else or anything?
Like I said, dude, it's a cushy job. He's going to be there forever. He already announced he's running for re-election. He's going to be fine.
Why the hell are people voting for him though? Are they that stupid?
Yeah, you know what? It's going to be. He's going to be fine.
I got to tell you, I think I've told you this before. I had a friend, a family member years ago. Elizabeth Warren happened to be on TV. And they said, quote, "Oh, I love that. Elizabeth Warren, she's so smart."
Yeah, I know. She's,
and
she proves
say the same thing.
She proves that in certain areas, anyone can be elected to office, and you know what? You reap what you sow, as they say. Let me go, Mike. I got to get out of here. We got to take a break soon enough. God bless you, man. Matt Gaetz, last quote. I love this one.
Matthew Colangelo became the Assistant Attorney General at the very beginning of the Biden administration. Without having been Senate confirmed, goes and gets this senior role at the DOJ. And then after, I believe it's Gupta replaces Colangelo, Colangelo makes this remarkable downstream career journey from the U.S. Department of Justice in Washington, D.C., and then pops up in Alvin Bragg's office to go get Trump. And you're saying that's just a career choice that was made that has nothing to do with the lawfare coordinated by the
saying it's false. I did not dispatch Mr. Colangelo anywhere.
Well, do you know how he ended up there?
I assume he applied for a job there and got the job.
But see, you know what?
I can tell you I had nothing to do with it.
Well, it turns out that there's a book that says very different. And that's what they're worried about. Matt Gaetz is going to get to the bottom of that. Heads are going to roll. Heads are going to roll. What's also rolling is the traffic. Let's get to it with the BPS Traffic Center's Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon, everyone. And if you are heading into Hartford on the southbound side of I-91, You're going to see delays from exit 34 down to 32A and B. Another bump down by exit 28. Slow traffic again from 22 and Cromwell down to just prior to exit 19 in Meriden. Some road work down there. Northbound 91 moving well. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. If you're traveling westbound 84, you're tied up 56 Governor Street up to 47 Sigourney Street in Hartford. 84 eastbound delays 44 into the tunnel. 291 eastbound's running a little slow. I-91 over to exit 4 in South Windsor. 2 eastbound's heavy coming off of I-84 from 5A up to exit 5C in East Hartford. Westbound side of Route 2 slowing exit 4 to the 84 West merge in East Hartford. 3 southbound you're slowing now from Route 2 in Glastonbury over to the 91 South ramps. 3 northbound is slowing from exit, basically from the Putnam Bridge up to the Route 2 ramps in Glastonbury. If you're heading into Middletown, 9 northbound, you've got delays approaching Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. 9 southbound slowing Cromwell Middletown line to the Aragoni Bridge. And then you'll see some delays again, 9 northbound from I-91 up to exit 34 in New Britain. If you're heading toward Waterbury right now, 84 eastbound slowing 17 to the Mixmaster. 84 westbound delays 26 sluggish up to the Mixmaster. 691 eastbound slowing from I-84 out to exit 5 in Meriden on the eastbound side of 691. If you are heading right now in toward the New Haven area, 95 southbound delays 46 down to exit 44. And in Newtown, you've got slow traffic from 9 in Newtown, sluggish up to exit 11 in Newtown. Traffic and weather together on the 8th.
Trey Boogie.
See News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Periods of sun this afternoon, the high of 51, though feels a little cooler with that north-northeast breeze. Under clear.
Sad to hear about Blog Talk Radio. Have fun while it lasts.
Breezy Friday, the high of 59, a busy north-northwest wind at 10 to 20 miles an hour. Partly sunny, windy Saturday, gusty winds, low humidity, and dry brush will result in a high fire threat throughout the weekend. The high of 60 Saturday, sunny to partly cloudy, breezy Sunday, the high of 62. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
WTIC is 99 and throwing a year-long celebration to 100 years on the air. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
44 degrees, 5 o'clock. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. Elevated fire weather concerns continue. Red flag warning issued for tomorrow. Another cabinet nomination by Donald Trump is sure to be controversial.
CBS News special report. Donald Trump has made another headline-grabbing selection for his cabinet. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as Health and Human Services Secretary. Our health reporter, Alexander Ten.
Kennedy has already laid out a number of sweeping proposals in his so-called Make America Healthy Again platform. That ranges from entirely replacing the FDA's roster of nutrition scientists to upending federal support for water fluoridation.
And this follows the announcement that Matt Gaetz has been tapped to be Attorney General. CBS's Olivia Rinaldi on the selections.
They're looking for disruption, and they're putting people in these agencies to lead them that are distrustful of the agencies themselves.
Democratic Senator Dick Durbin says many would like to see the House ethics report into allegations against Gaetz.
We cannot allow this valuable information from a bipartisan investigation to be hidden from the American people.
CBS News special report. I'm Cammie McCormick.
That committee has written a report critical of Gaetz, who was investigated for sexual misconduct. It's unclear if the report will ever be released now that Gaetz has resigned from Congress. CBS News reports the committee will vote tomorrow on whether to release it. InfoWars is offline after the conspiracy outlet was purchased at auction by The Onion, which says InfoWars will be relaunched next year as a parody. It will be sponsored by Everytown for Gun Safety. Outgoing owner Alex Jones defamed the Sandy Hook families with his bogus claims about the 2012 shooting and owes about $1.5 billion in damages. Attorney Chris Maddy represents some of the families. He spoke to MSNBC.
This particular effort, this effort against disinformation and lies, was really geared towards protecting all victims who might find themselves in the crosshairs of these conspiracy profiteers. And we want people to know that justice is possible, and this is a testimony to that.
Jones vows to challenge the sale. With 3 pedestrian deaths in the last 4 days, the state DOT is out with another safe driving reminder. DOT spokesman Josh Morgan says 2024 is shaping up to be one of the worst years since the 1980s.
There's been close to 60 pedestrians killed on Connecticut roadways in 2024, and we still have several weeks to go in the year. And we know that this time of year is also particularly dangerous for pedestrians because of how dark it gets and how early that sun sets.
Connecticut on pace to meet or break the 2022 record of 72 pedestrian deaths. A big fine for one of the big three automakers.
Ford will pay a $167 million fine after government regulators say they didn't recall vehicles with bad rear-view cameras in a timely manner. Ford has also agreed to independent monitoring for 3 years. They'll also review all of their recalls over the past 3 years to make sure there are no issues.
CBS's Jeff Gilbert. On Wall Street, the Dow was down 207, S&P dropped 36, the NASDAQ was minus 123. Sports. Patriots defensive tackle Christian Barmore is back at practice. He's been out for months recovering from blood clots. The Patriots and the Rams Sunday afternoon on WTIC. NHL, the Rangers host San Jose, the Bruins in Dallas. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
Men, time. A man comes in to get his erectile dysfunction treated, and very soon thereafter, he tells us that his relationship has come back to life. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health. And you should know that ED doesn't affect just you. It also often affects your partner. They can feel undesired, unwanted. They may even feel like you don't love them anymore. At Northeast Men's Health, we've successfully treated thousands of men for ED with protocols that have success rates well over 90%, which means if you're like most men, we can get you back to the guy you used to be. You could even last up to an hour or more and find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and give your partner the gift of renewed love. Your first visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956 or go to Northeast Men's Health.
Here we go.
We have 5 offices across the Northeast to serve you. Northeast Men's Health, a Permetic restorative health practice.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
It's the 5 o'clock focus.
It's the 5 o'clock focus.
I'm focused, man. Today on the 5 o'clock focus, how far is too far for technology? I read this story today, and it's kind of I was one of the last guys in the world. Let me just give you a backstory. I was one of the last guys probably in the country to get a debit card. I carried cash everywhere because I hated the idea of having an RFID chip in my bank card. It just bothered me. So technology has always been one of those things that I've been reluctant, especially when they start going into our everyday lives. But if you've heard this story recently, I'll actually post it. I think I'm going to post it on Facebook, on my Facebook account, so you can read it yourself. AI shopping carts, artificial intelligent shopping carts, are in Connecticut and in Massachusetts. And what it does, and again, maybe there's some convenience to it, but you can pretty much not just, throw your items into the cart, but you can clip coupons and get an estimated readout of what your groceries are going to be before you get to the checkout line. Now, I know Amazon has done something similar to that, where you just walk up into the aisle and you just grab that item and it immediately goes into your Amazon account. Like, you pay right then and there. But that's been kind of a slow roll. That's not everywhere. I think they're doing it in Whole Foods. In fact, if it's happening in Whole Foods here in Connecticut, let me know.
They're doing it in Sam's.
They're doing it in Sam's?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Sam's Club.
We do it every 2 weeks.
So what are you saying? You can pay for the item right at the place that you grab it from? Or you could do the shopping cart?
No, it's an app.
Oh, it's okay. So an app. So when you grab the item, you can charge it right there.
Right there. Yep.
Wow.
And
Okay.
then you just walk out of the store.
Okay. So apparently this is rampant. So I think this is technology kind of gone too far. I get that, necessity is the mother of invention. I guess that is right. So I don't know if this is necessary. We have calculators, but the AI thing. Look, why do they do this kind of stuff? Because it's always to gather information on us. This is one of the things I thought about the COVID vaccine, that you'd go there and get the free vaccine and you had to give up all of your information. I'm always concerned with information gathering because of the people, that stuff is sellable, right? People can make, because they're not making money elsewhere, they find another revenue stream, and your information is very lucrative. So are you into that, or are you going to stick with the mainstream of just going up to the counter and saying, no, you cannot have my email account? Because remember, they used to do that all the time. Can you give us your phone number? Can you give us your zip code? That used to be a big thing. Bed Bath & Beyond used to do that all the time. Let's get to checking the traffic and Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Mark, I know, I'm sure you've been to Bed Bath & Beyond, but do you remember when the counter used to always ask you for your zip code, and they said the reason why was to find out how far you traveled to get to their store?
Yeah, right.
You never fell for it. Yeah,
I don't even remember. I just remember the 20%. We'd get a 20% coupon every week in the mail.
Oh.
There was one maybe a half mile from our house where I lived.
Okay.
And, so we went there quite a bit.
Yeah, but I mean, they're all bankrupt now because I guess the advent of, Amazon, as it were, because you can get that stuff same day. But I just never got, anytime there's information gathering like this AI shopping cart where you can do everything right there, itemize your groceries, clip coupons. I know you're not getting that stuff just willy-nilly. You've got to enter your information for this.
Yeah. And, they got all your information now anyway, so...
Yeah, so like
with all the breaches and stuff, everybody knows everything about you. So
yeah, might as well. You know what? Just give up the firstborn. Forget.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they know pretty much everything about you. Hey, Reese, thank you very much. If you're heading into downtown Hartford right now, overall we're doing okay. Though we do have a couple of accidents we want to tell you about. This traffic report being brought to you by Stu Leonard's. And on the southbound side of I-91, you got delays 33 down at 32A and B. And then you're back in the stop and go again between exit 23 and 21 and 20 in Cromwell. Now, just south of exit 21, we have the left and center lanes blocked with a crash there. You want to stay to the right. Northbound 91 moving well, Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. If you're westbound 84, you're tied up 56 Governor Street out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound slowing about a half mile before 46 Citizen Avenue into the tunnel. 291 eastbound slowing from I-91 over to exit 4 in South Windsor. 2 eastbound is tight coming off I-84 out to exit 5C in East Hartford. 3 north and southbound heavy now between Glastonbury and Wethersfield. Both sides of 3 heavy, so look out for that. If you're heading 291 eastbound, you're slowing from I-91 over to exit 4 in South Windsor. If you're traveling 9 southbound, look out for an accident down by exit 24 in the right lane. That's backing you up to I-91. 9 northbound slows from exit 31 up to 34 in New Britain. If you're traveling toward Waterbury, 84 eastbound delays 18 to the Mixmaster. Westbound 84 sluggish 26 up to the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound Newtown, you're slowing from 9 to 11. 95 South New Haven, tight 46 down to 44. This week, great deals at Stu Leonard's Farm Fresh Foods. Bone-in beef short ribs are only $7.99 per pound on the Stu's app. You save $3 per pound. Plus, organic extra large red seedless grapes are $2.99 per pound. That's $1 savings. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
Brought to you by True Law. SickVets.com.
WTIC weather.
Already chilly out there in spots, and as we head through tonight under clear skies, cold with the low down to 28. Mostly sunny, breezy day for us on Friday. On a high of 59. It is going to be quite windy throughout the weekend. The combination of gusty winds, low humidity, and dry brush will result in a high fire threat right through the weekend as well. On our Friday, the north-northwest winds already up to 10 to 20 miles an hour. Saturday, partly sunny, windy, the high 60. Northwest winds at 15 to 25. Sunday, sunny to partly cloudy, breezy, warm, the high of 66. North-northwest winds at 10 to 20 on Sunday. Monday, still mild, not as breezy, a mix of clouds and sun. Shower can't be ruled out, the high of 64. And Tuesday, breezy, cooler, sunshine, a few clouds, the high of 57. The northwest winds back to 10 to 20 miles an hour. Already in the 30s in spots like Mansfield at 37, Waterbury at 39. It's 45 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Hi, it's Alice Shattuck, and I just want to give a huge thank you and congratulations to Awaken 180 Weight Loss on their 10-year anniversary. Paige and her team have changed lives, mine included, with a solution that lasts. I'm glad I found Awaken 180 and confident you will be too.
Did you wake up with joint pain this morning? Does it hurt when you do even the most routine physical activity? Have they told you it's time for knee or hip replacement surgery? Well, stop what you're doing and listen. You deserve a life of comfort and ease with no surgery and no meds. QC Kinetics can get you there. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in what they call regenerative cellular treatments. They're for joint pain wherever your hips, knees, back, shoulder. It's an all-natural approach that harnesses your body's own healing properties to treat the root cause of your arthritic pain. Everybody's talking about it right now because it's so cutting edge. These protocols were developed by QC Kinetics. They're life-changing for so many people, thousands of satisfied patients, and more every day. You can have real lasting relief from chronic joint pain without drugs, without surgery, without downtime. Discover your options with advanced regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics, and the consultation is absolutely free. Call 860-440-PAIN. Again, 860-440-PAIN. QC Kinetics at 860-440-PAIN. They're in Avon, New Haven, and Glastonbury.
Diabetes, high blood pressure.
Oh, man.
Everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-511-3535. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-511-3535. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-511-3535. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-511-3535. 800-511-3535 or biglou.com.
It's the 5 o'clock focus.
It's the 5 o'clock
A focus, man. Talk about bringing one back from the dead. Reese on the Radio, NewsTalk 1080 WTIC. 5 o'clock focus. Let's go to my good friend Matt in Bristol. I haven't talked to him in a while. What's going on, sir?
Hello, Mr. Hopkins. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. What's up?
Good. I was going to take a break off from calling, but Tim got me going.
You can't let that guy get to you.
Well, no. You know what bothered me? First of all, calling Joe from Simsbury crazy. That guy is the most reasonable, nice, intelligent person you ever want to meet.
Exactly.
Right? He's the antithesis of crazy. I mean, the guy is like so centered.
He is. I was telling my wife, it's like, Joe's from Simsbury. To hear his voice and then to see him, Joe in Simsbury. Let me tell you this: Joe in Simsbury is like Fessick big. Do you know who Fessick is?
No.
Doesn't ring a bell? Okay. Think The Princess Bride.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Andre the Giant.
That's right.
Yeah.
He is the most gentle giant in the world, Joe in Simsbury. When I saw him, I said, dude, you were like, looking at him, he's like, you're fairy tale huge. Like, you're like Jack and the Beanstalk huge.
Yeah, I thought he was Frank from Woodbridge at first, because I kept hearing about how big Frank is, So.
Yeah, but he's such a lovable giant, such a great, mild-mannered. But I totally want him to take his glasses off and just pretend to be my bouncer, like my bodyguard.
Now, one quick question. So with Matt Gaetz, I think he's a great pick, but obviously the Senate is flipping their lid over this pick.
Oh, they're going to make it difficult for him.
Is it worth it for Trump to use the capital that he has right now to try to push him through, or is it not worth fighting?
I'll put it to you this way. After January 20th, let's just look at it this way. After January 20th, I want to see what Trump does with regard to that, because there's going to be a lot of pushback on him about Matt Gaetz, and I just want to hear how Donald Trump's what is responsible, because I haven't heard anything yet. And I want to hear what he has to say when he starts getting, not just the press, we're talking about the Senate. What the Senate says after confirmations, or after everyone's sworn in. I want to see what Donald Trump has to say to the Senate or say publicly, because I'm sure he will respond.
Well, the fact that they elected Thune as the majority leader already makes me know which way the Senate is kind of leaning.
Right.
But should he call in his chips? Is it that important to get Gaetz in that position, or can he put him somewhere else and pick another battle. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't think it's going to. Well, I hear what you're saying. You're saying that it's going to be a battle. Why not pick elsewhere? I kind of feel where you're coming on that one. But like I said, I need to hear what Donald Trump's response to it is going to be, because he's very silent and conspicuously silent on this with all of the rabble-rousing going on. So
I have a feeling he believes that Matt Gaetz is being railroaded like he was railroaded.
And I think that's the reason why he's.
Yeah.
I think that's the reason why he's sticking with him. But, like I said, Donald Trump, people doubt him, right? And the press goes nuts. And then it turns out that it's, kind of the right thing. It's very hard for me at this point to doubt Donald Trump in these maneuvers. It's very difficult for me.
Like picking Vance.
Yeah.
I thought he was insane, but he knows stuff that we just do not know. He's
not
got a
privy
better
to.
sense.
Yeah.
He's got a better sense of people, and he picks the right people. He always ends up being right.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. We'll wait. We'll just wait. What are you going to do? But thank you, buddy. I appreciate you, sir. Well, good to hear from you again. Let's go to. I'm in the wrong place. There we go. Joe is in New Hampshire. How are we doing, sir?
Hey, hi. I'm right in front of my screen. The MSNBC investment program from 5 to 6.
Uh-huh.
And they had official doctor on, Dr. Patel, a lady from India, I guess. She's well-spoken. She's the anointed doctor for MSNBC for anything concerning medicine and medical, just like the White House relies on Dr. Jill Biden for medical advice, I guess. But Dr. Patel is in a frenzy with the RFK Jr.
Appointment.
Nomination.
Sure.
She put it this way. She said, they asked her, they're all upset about, the future of the stocks that have vaccines, Moderna. The aftermarket for pharmaceutical stocks right now is in a nosedive, supposedly. And it's going to really be bad tomorrow. It might take the whole market down, they said, overall, the mindset. But she said, let me put it to all your listeners this way. For someone who says he is not against vaccines, he's only against the vaccines that are out there today. That's how she, paraphrased his position.
But you know what? I think I agree with RFK when he says that let's find out whether or not they will get testing done on these vaccines, thorough testing on these vaccines, or let's take away the provision that absolves them of any wrongdoing and see whether or not they'll pull those vaccines. And in my view, I think they would.
Well, one of the analysts said to her, well, in terms of stocks and investing for the country going forward, how would you analyze this sudden turn of events? They all thought RFK Jr. was going to be an advisor, not the man. He's going to be the man with all the decision making. She says, well, it's going to affect school lunches, the vaccine, what do they put? Vaccines in McDonald's, it's going to disrupt the food chain.
Of course it's going to disrupt. That's the whole thing, Joe. Of course it's going to disrupt the food chain. But again, this puts everybody on notice, right? We've got more diabetes today. We have more cancer treatments than we ever had, more cancer diagnoses than we ever had today. We've got the most unhealthy society. We have people talking about it all day, every day, about how we're the most unhealthy nation in all the world. And now a guy comes in and says he wishes to work to get Americans not only living better, but living longer. And now all of a sudden people are going, but don't attack the pharmaceuticals. Knock it off. They're all hypocrites.
The chief analyst interrupted and said, it's come across the board that Trump has said privately he doesn't need the Senate confirmations. He can do that 2-year thing where it doesn't have to go through the Senate and all these
recess appointments.
Recess appointment for a 2-year, and that's more than enough time for him to accomplish what he wants to do within 2 years.
And we'll see.
And they're all shaking their heads. They are in a state of upset.
As they should be. And again, like I said, Washington is on notice. Thank you, Joe. Washington's on notice. They are on notice. What has been the status quo is about to be upended. And who are they going to be? They're angry at the American people. Why would they bring this guy back? Why would they do it? It's so sad. It's so sad. For me, it just makes me happy. That's all I can say. Is this George in St. Louis?
Yeah, hi, Reese.
What's
This is
going on, buddy?
George in St. Louis. I've got three. One is bioengineering,
Mm-hmm.
artificial intelligence,
Mm-hmm.
and the nuclear bomb. In other words, if any of these things backfire, all of human and civilization is gone. We're wiped out.
Do you believe that we're
These are-
depending too much on artificial intelligence because it's the new science and everybody's like really quick to jump on it? It's like artificial intelligence is the new thing. Everybody join the Fed.
Well, yeah, but they haven't seen the Terminator though either. Yeah.
I post this all the time on my Facebook page. I post it a lot. I always go, Sarah Connor with, look out, Sarah Connor. And people are saying to me, it's like, why are you posting it? I'm like, read the story. Because some of this stuff is, I put this video up not too long ago, George, on my website about this robot that throws in a smoke bomb into a hotel room to get this guy out of the hotel room. And then after the guy is subdued, he gets out of the hotel room. The robot then climbs on top of him. And the thing weighs about 500-600 pounds. It climbs on top of him and subdues him until the police get there. And the whole time I'm thinking about this like Terminator exists. Like the robot age is here.
We are not very far from creating artificial intelligence and a robot combined. Yeah, and the bioengineering that could blow up in our faces. We just experienced that with COVID.
Yes, God, you're taking the words right out of my mouth. I'm thinking about that.
That was bioengineered. COVID.
And when you find out that Dr. Fauci, look, we just had this report that came out. In fact, the article's in the New York Post about Dr. Fauci and this thing about trying to get monkeys or trying to work the will of monkeys to get them. I'm phrasing this badly, but it was trying to understand the willpower inside monkeys or trying to use gambling to find out what motivates monkeys to make poor decisions. And I'm looking at this and I'm going, why would Dr. Fauci be doing these weird experiments? Another one to find the gene that would make a monkey transsexual or homosexual. I'm like, who does this type of weird, Island of Dr. Moreau type stuff? Like, who does this?
But getting back to what I was saying, any invention where all of civilization is wiped out, that's critical. That's areas we probably shouldn't be playing with.
Couldn't agree more. You're absolutely right. I'm fearful for these people who don't have the right intentions, coming up with the next technology that everyone is excited for, and going at it with this excitement, not understanding the consequences thereof. It's an amazing thing. I got to move on. Let's go to. Do I have time? Yeah, I've got 1 minute. Let's go to Lori in Glastonbury. How are we doing, Lori?
Well, hello there, sir. I apologize for how I sound. I have a cold.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I feel better.
Thank you. But since it's the airing of grievances eve,
yes,
I wanted to know if I could pick one, air a grievance. And if I'm allowed to, sir, it's actually a bone I'd like to pick with you. I heard you on Will Marati's show this morning that you think that people with tattoos aren't interesting people.
However, not what I said. It's not what I said.
It's very similar to what you said. You said that they must not have interesting lives.
No, I said that I used to say that about people who have tattoos who are clearly not tattoo people. That's what I said.
Okay, but what determines a tattoo person? Because if you met me in person, you would be like, she's not a tattoo person.
Okay, I am not a tattoo person, and I have one. But why? I have it concealed so no one can ever see it. And I got it from because my wife, told me to get one on her birthday. So I went and got it done. But when I say tattoo people, when I was growing up in New York, there were girls who used to get tattoos because, that's cute. Let's go get a tattoo. And it's very, very simple and very, mall type. Like getting a tattoo with something you do at the mall. It's cute. I get a little heart here. Those people who were vapid, empty, and, have no real substance to them. They would get a tattoo and it would be there, and that would be the basis of every one of their conversations. Oh, I thought because it'd be cute. Like tattoo people get tattoos because they symbolize things. There are importance and relevance to them. That's all.
So fair enough. So I sit corrected. I appreciate the explanation. I happen to have two very well thought tattoos that are both very symbolic to me.
Yeah.
And so when I heard you say that this morning, I'm like, wait a minute. He told me he thinks I'm interesting.
I do think you're interesting, Lori. Clearly, you are beyond the empty tattoo person. I promise. Like you wouldn't get a tattoo on your face, Lori. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, if things get that bad where I have to cover a few things up, I might think about it.
All right. Well, that has happened.
Like a little tattoo that says "Don't look here," right over something that I don't want people to stare at.
Thank you, Lori. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Tattoos?
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, good afternoon to you, and good afternoon, everyone. Well, if you're heading on the southbound side,
You definitely don't like me then.
Look out for.
I got a body full of tattoos.
Yeah, but you probably just got them because you're a tattoo
You're
guy.
locked up again from exit 23.
Yeah.
Hill.
Well, I wasn't until I got one.
We have an
That's the way it works.
The left and center lane stay to the right. Northbound 91, that looks good. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 is slowing. 56 Governor Street out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound locked up. 44 Prospect Oakwood into the tunnel. 291 eastbound's a little slow coming off of I-91 over to the Bissell Bridge. If you are traveling Route 2 westbound in East Hartford, a little slow traffic from exit 4 up to the 84 West merge. 3 northbound, some sluggish traffic. Putnam Bridge up to the Route 2 ramp in Glastonbury. If you're heading into Middletown, that looks good. 9 in the Aragoni Bridge. 9 southbound, some slow traffic from I-91 down to exit 27 in Cromwell. Northbound 9, you've got slow traffic from I-91 up to 31 in Berlin. Again, a little slow approaching 24 in Rocky Hill. 84 eastbound in Waterbury, slow 17 up to the Mixmaster. Westbound 84, a little tight, 26 to 25 in Waterbury, and again 22 as you approach the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound in Danbury, slowing 3 to 5. If you are traveling into New Haven, southbound 95 slows 46 down to 43. Northbound Parkway delays 59 into the West Rock Tunnel. Southbound Parkway slowing from 60 down into the West Rock. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather. Period the sun this afternoon, the high at 51, though it'll feel cooler with a bit of a breeze out of the north-northeast. Under clear skies, cold tonight, the low down to 28. Mostly sunny, breezy on Friday, the high of 59. The north-northwest winds up to 10 to 20 miles an hour. The combination of low humidity, dry brush, and gusty winds will result in a high fire threat right through the weekend. Partly sunny, windy Saturday, the high of 60. Sunny to partly cloudy, still breezy Sunday, the high 62. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
43 degrees at 5:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. Elevated fire weather concerns continue. A red flag warning now out for tomorrow. One person is
Be right back.
Vehicle crash on Christian Lane in
I got
Berlin. Police say it was a head-on collision. Christian Lane is closed near Route 9. Donald Trump will nominate former presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to lead the Department of Health and Human Services. Kennedy, a prominent vaccine critic who, like other Trump cabinet nominees, plans an overhaul.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s allies have argued for weeks that Trump's election was a mandate for their so-called Make America Healthy Again platform as well, which promises sweeping changes to a broad array of federal health and nutrition programs ranging from purging agencies of officials he accuses of failing to stop risky chemicals from being added to foods to upending the way that the FDA regulates a range of products from raw milk to psychedelics.
CBS's Alexander Tim. The new owner of the conspiracy outlet InfoWars is the comedy publication The Onion. That's after a bankruptcy auction. Former owner Alex Jones defamed the Sandy Hook families with false claims about the shooting and owes about $1.5 billion. The Onion says InfoWars will be relaunched as a parody of itself. Ben Collins is CEO of the parent company of The Onion.
By the end of the day, it was us or Alex Jones. That's who could either continue this website unabated, basically unpunished for what he's done to these families over the years, or we can make a dumb, stupid website. and we decided to do the second.
Jones vows to challenge the sale. On Wall Street, the Dow was down 207, S&P dropped 36, the Nasdaq was off 123 points. Sports, NHL, the Rangers host San Jose, the Bruins in Dallas. Baseball's Tampa Bay Rays will play their home schedule next year at the Yankees' nearby spring training complex with a capacity of 11,000. Tropicana Field's roof was ripped off in a recent hurricane. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Maker, WTIC 1080 News.
They say no two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app with over 16 million subscriptions sold? Well, we thought of you. All of you. Take Sierra. She's an artist and absolutely a visual learner. She's doing a deep dive into our Babbel wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Malcolm is very much a type A, say it to my face type of learner. So he checks with Babbel's speech recognition to make sure that accent.
Sur le point.
Keith is sweet. He's a be in the room with real people kind of learner. So he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Ok, class. Vos está pronto.
Estamos prontos.
Wherever you are, however you learn, Babbel is the best choice to break any language barrier. Try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Wesley Financial Group.
If
you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options.
Call for your free info kit, 800-329-2121, 800-329-2121, 800-329-2121.
It's the 5 o'clock focus.
It's the 5 o'clock focus.
I'm focused, man. Yeah, so AI, weird thing. Here on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC. Yeah, I've always been sort of cautious about computer programs. Like you have no idea. I sit in front of a computer all the time, and I'm always saying to myself, what do they know? I'm always thinking the worst. That not that I believe we're ever going to get to the point where we're battling robots, like iRobot and Terminator. But I do believe that people's reliance on machines is something that's really perilous. And I'm going to use these 2 minutes to talk about a story that used to drive me crazy. When I worked at corporate U-Haul, one of the problems we used to have was somebody would make a reservation for a truck and they wanted to pick up at a particular location, like their preferred location closest to their home. And if a truck didn't arrive at that place for them to pick up, they of course had to travel elsewhere to get said truck. And if you had to call someone and say, hey, I'm sorry, but the preferred location you have to pick up from, it's not going to be available, so I need you to go here. Sometimes you had to have that person go a good 35 minutes away, and that drives people nuts. If you've rented from U-Haul, you've probably experienced something like that. But the response that you would get as a phone operator, which is a job I had, you would hear them say, but the computer said, and I would go, yeah, I know what the computer said. I understand what the computer said, but I'm not really understanding your debate here. But the computer said it was there. And I went, okay, the computer made a mistake. But how can the computer make a mistake? And I'm like, do you think the computer is like a living thing? Like, do you believe that the computer actually makes decisions? It's like, that's not how it works. And people are very caught up in that idea. They are advancing the technology before it. But the computer, and it's really like, that's when people hear technology, they kind of think, I almost feel like they view it as like the Jetsons. I really do. or, like Buck Rogers. Like, I really do believe that people see this new age where the computers come in like they would virtually have to do nothing. And I've got a problem with that. I just do. I've got a problem with the people believing that even the measliest of things will be, determined for them. They'll be able to press a button and a 4-course meal will come down the chute. Like, it's like, making, like, hey, can I get a grilled cheese sandwich? And like all of a sudden, boop, 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 grilled cheese sandwich will happen. No, you're going to have to put that frying pan on the damn stove and make a grilled cheese sandwich. A computer is not going to make that for you. And I don't want to live in a world where it does. I don't know about you, but I don't. I don't want to live in that world. Maybe you do, but I don't. That's all I'm saying. I want someone to be able to make the grilled cheese. Oh, you didn't think I was going to make it. I'm sorry. I don't cook. I just don't want it from a computer is what I'm saying. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Mark.
Yes,
do you want a machine to be able to make your dinner, like pushing the button, you're like boop boop boop, grilled cheese sandwich, boop boop boop, steak and eggs? Do you want that?
I got a feeling that, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for here? It would be processed food. You know what I mean? Like everything you're not supposed to eat is processed. Why do I think if a computer did it, it would be some sort of process?
Yeah, like made in a lab.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm going to say no to that.
Okay, good. I'm with you.
I'll go upstairs in a few minutes and eat a half a bag of potato chips. But, yeah, I'm going to say no to the computer and the processed food. Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, southbound side of 91 delays 33 down at 32 A and B. And then you're back into heavy stop and go 24 in Rocky Hill to just after exit 21 in Cromwell. We have an accident blocking the left and center lane, so stay to the right there. Northbound 91, moving well Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 is tied up just after 56 Governor Street out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound delays 44 Prospect Oakwood, and you are pretty tight still down into the tunnel. 291 eastbound slowing I-91 over to the Bissell Bridge. 2 eastbound a little slow between 5A and 5C in East Hartford. 2 westbound slowing in East Hartford from 4 to the 84 West Merge. If you're traveling 9 southbound, look out for an accident by exit 27 in Cromwell, and that has the right lane blocked down there. Delays are back to exit 30 in Cromwell and the I-91 interchange behind that. Northbound Route 9 slowing from 32 to 34 in New Britain. If you're heading into Waterbury, 84 eastbound delays 17 to the Mixmaster. Westbound 84 slows 26 to 25 again by exit 22 in Waterbury. If you're traveling into New Haven, northbound Parkway, you've got delays approaching 59 into the West Rock. Southbound Parkway, some sluggish traffic, 60 into the West Rock Tunnel. 95 southbound slowing 46 to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather. Been a chilly day, cold night ahead under clear skies. The low down to 28. A mostly sunny and breezy day on Friday. The high 59. Northwest winds kicking up to 10 to 20 miles an hour. Going to be a very windy weekend because of the gusty winds, low humidity, and dry brush. There will be a high fire threat throughout the weekend. Saturday, partly sunny, windy, the high 60. Northwest winds up to 15 to 25. Still very breezy Sunday. Sunny to partly cloudy. Mild, though, the high of 66. Northwest winds 10 to 20. A little less windy on Monday, but still quite mild with a mix of clouds and sun, the high of 64. Can't rule out a shower Monday. Tuesday, breezy, cooler, sunshine, a few clouds, the high 57. The northwest winds back to 10 to 20. Right now, it is 41 in Bristol, 39 Waterbury, 36 Mansfield, 45 Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Now at McDonald's, get a head start on your morning with any sized iced coffee in any flavor for just $1.29 during breakfast hours only. Price of participation may vary.
ProHealth Physicians has proudly been keeping Connecticut healthy for nearly 25 years. ProHealth accepts Husky Medicaid, Medicare, TRICARE, and most major insurances. For trusted local care for your whole family, call 1-855-CT-MD411 or visit ProHealthMD.com.
Hi, Eric Hogarth, Money Wisdom. The election is done, and now we have decisions to make, things to think about, and plans to adjust. We're going to talk about it this Saturday at 8:30. Tune in to TIC News Talk 1080.
Are you working out, eating healthy, doing all the right things, but still not seeing the right result? Well, it could all be down to your metabolism. But now, there's a way of understanding how your nutrition and lifestyle fit into the bigger picture. Learn how your body shifts from burning carbs to burning fat for energy with Lumen. Go to lumen.me right now for 30% off. Lumen is the world's first handheld metabolic coach. It takes just a single breath first thing in the morning, and Lumen immediately analyzes your metabolism, telling you if you're burning fat or carbs, and gives you tailored guidance to improve nutrition, workouts, sleep, and stress management. There's no one-size-fits-all solution. Get something tailored to your body's needs with Lumen. Go to lumen.me today and get 30% off. Plus, listeners can get an additional 15% off by using promo code RADIO99. That's promo code RADIO99 at lumen.me to get an additional 15% off your first purchase today. LUMEN.ME, promo code RADIO99.
Do you full of old videotapes and photos with memories you'd love to share with the family this Christmas? Right now, get exclusive early access to Legacy Box's biggest deal of the year. Digitize your memories for just $9 per tape. That's right, only $9 to preserve and share your precious moments. VHS, VHS-C, Hi-8, film reels, and more, saving you over $15 per item. Not to mention, when you digitize your memories now, Legacy Box sends all your memories back on the cloud, so they're easy to access by Christmas, and you can relive them with your family just in time for the holidays. You've heard about Legacy Box all year, but now is the best time to digitize your memories. Hurry, this $9 deal won't last long. LegacyBox.com/value for early access to our best deal of the year. Don't wait. Secure your digitized memories by Christmas at LegacyBox.com/value.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is. You know who it is. It's Reese on the Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
We come to that point of the show. Don't forget, folks, 860-522-WTIC tomorrow.
The airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people.
It's the airing of grievance Friday. No one's happier than my good friend Roland, the producer. Loves when Friday comes around. Because, of course, it's like betting weekend. Who you betting on this weekend?
Yeah. It starts today, my friend.
Is it starting today already? Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
The Thursday night football. That's right.
Yeah.
Who we got on the docket today and Monday on Thursday night football? I haven't watched the game in a while.
Big NFC East rivalry.
Oh, that means
Dallas. I mean, not Dallas. Washington Commanders.
Yeah, Washington Commanders. They're about to. I guess they
I
are
always
the
want to say
Commanders.
Redskins every time.
Yeah, I know. Washington Commandos is what I call them. But
They're actually really good this year.
They are. They're great this year.
Best starting like 50 years.
Yeah, who they playing? Giants?
The Eagles.
Oh, the Eagles. Oh, that'll be worth watching.
So last week, the Eagles destroyed the Cowboys.
Yep.
And last week, Pittsburgh won on pretty much a Hail Mary touchdown, 1 point against Washington. So I picked Washington.
You're picking Washington. Okay. All right. I'm not picking anybody. I'm just going to watch it. It's going to be good football nonetheless. All right.
And
Let's
just to hit on before you go back to work. I still don't have a debit card for my credit union account, which is my main account.
You don't have a debit
card? I got to go
card?
there and get cash in person.
So you are not joining you have joined the resistance. You refuse. You refuse to become technology
I have
savvy.
a card, but it's a Cash App card.
Ah.
And you just add money to it whenever you want to use a card.
I know a lot of people who do that. I know a lot of people who do that.
And that way, and it saves you too, because you don't. If you a person like myself that gambles, you don't need access to all your money.
It's a good point. Yeah. All right.
You definitely don't.
Very wise. All right. To the phones we go. Dave is in Brantford. How we doing, boss man?
Yeah, how you doing, Reese? About the Elliker interview yesterday.
Yes.
I heard a bit on the radio news today. In Bridgeport, the other city, not New Haven.
Yes.
The health department, who runs the marriage license department.
Yes.
The health department changed the rules. They put a 2-day hold on the issuing of marriage licenses after you apply.
Yes.
And the explanation was too many errors. Let me repeat that. Too many errors were turning up on marriage licenses that required a long and time-consuming review to correct. The errors were actually lies and fraud that were being committed by this pipeline of illegitimate marriages. And listening to Mr. Elliker, so as not to unwelcome the immigrant population, they don't look into any kind of rules at all. And I think Bridgeport, which is not known for rooting out fraud, they at least are trying.
That's
on the
good.
marriage licenses to stop the pipeline. And it sounds like Mr. Elliker, lest he be perceived as unwelcoming, is not willing to change anything to stop this outrageous, illegitimate application for green cards via the marriage method.
Nice. Thank you for that report.
Bye.
And you know what? That's exactly. We'll talk to Lenny. We'll talk to Lenny and see if we can get him back on to answer those questions. Thank you, sir. Let's go to who do we got next on this? I think Craig. Craig's in the car. What's going on, Craig?
We've discussed this before, Reese. Don't make me follow Dave from Branford. I don't have his chops. Just stop.
Okay, what do you got?
So I got two things for you tonight. One is on AI and tech.
Okay.
The other one's on Matt Gaetz. So
Okay.
AI and tech, I will give you the same advice I give all of my employees.
Okay.
Whatever the new tech is, embrace it, learn it, and accept it. Because technology never goes backwards.
Right.
It may take a while to adopt, whether it's EVs or whether it's AI or whatever it is. Once that cat's out of the bag, it doesn't go back.
Right. Yeah, that's it. That we have to live with it.
Right? You got to live with it. So get ahead of the curve, be an early adopter, and your life will be better than everybody else.
Okay.
So that's my advice on that. On the Matt Gaetz thing, I send you music clips all the time, and I sent you one from a band called Nonpoint. There's a song called Chaos and Earthquakes.
Uh-huh.
When Matt Gaetz was announced, my wife said to me, she said, "What do you think about Matt Gaetz?" I said, "It's going to be chaos and earthquakes."
Which
if you can get rolling to play a clip of Chaos and Earthquakes, I will buy 2 more T-shirts from you.
All right, I'll work. I will definitely. Well, I've got to hear it first, and then I will send it to Roland at exactly the clip that I want him to play. That work out?
Well, it's kind of a hardcore rock band,
right?
But the lead singer is a brother with dreads.
Oh no, I saw him. I saw the video.
I think you're gonna like it.
I will definitely check into it. Chaos and earthquakes,
brother.
I think it's perfect. I think it's apropos. Thank you, Craig. I actually think it's true. I think that's what his purpose is. Who is this? Hey, Chris, how are you?
Good, Reese. Thank you for taking my call. Appreciate it.
What do you got, buddy?
Hey, little thing on the AI stuff. The gentleman that said, "Oh yeah, this, the 3 things that he thought was going to, be the end of mankind." The thing about AI and having robots and stuff like that is, just like you said, and just like the last caller, that technology is going to keep going, right?
Yeah.
And in my company, who is knee deep in this type of stuff, let me tell you something. AI, it's going to come down to these people are going to be battling types of like robots and stuff that are going to be going in. You're already seeing it with drones. We have underwater drones. Dude, my company is so knee deep in this stuff, dude. And I got to tell you, and one thing that they usually say is any device that they're going to make to save a soldier or a human life, they're going to make. So guess what? You know what that means? You are one day going to see some sort of mechanical device rolling through that's computerized, and it's going to take somebody out.
Solving some sort of calamity.
And it's the first to file too, because what they say is, look, they have to get in front of this, because you know what? China's going to do it first.
Yep.
And you know what? We have to do it first. So as a defense contractor, you have to be one step ahead of your enemy. And that's what these companies do. And I'm telling you, it's wicked impressive. If you ever go to like tech reviews for a big company,
I do. I check them out online. But you're right. It's becoming the new arms race, if you will. Like
it is.
You're
exactly right.
Yeah. I know it's inevitable, but look, I'm too old to have to worry about the technology. I will be that guy who's out of touch and out of step.
Love you, Reese.
Thank you, man.
Love you, brother.
Let me say this real quick. There was this. Someone will remember this. When I was in high school, in the 10th grade, I had Mr. Stein give me this short story. And if you can remember it, I'm going to describe it poorly, but if you do remember it, please send the story to me. But the breakdown was commercials had taken over every facet of the future. wherever you went, you had to see advertising. So if you brushed your teeth in the morning, you were met on your mirror before you could even brush your teeth or to wash your face. You were met with a commercial. Everywhere you went, it was run by commercials. It's a dystopian sort of a science fiction short story. And at the end, this one guy was trying to get away from it, and he had found this sort of underground railroad, if you were, to phrase it poorly, of people who were getting away from the constant advertisements or advertisements in their lives. And they had pushed, he had pushed through this sort of secret network and flowing through it. And to sum up at the end of the story, when he finally ends up at this safe house, the story then switches to behind the scenes in this safe house that he was in, where it secretly was the government saying, in essence, we have him, get ready to, in essence, program him again back into the advertisements. So he couldn't get away from it. It's a short story, but it goes into all this elaborate things where you think he's going to this underground railroad to get out of it, but only to end up that they had literally sealed every point of getting out of this future, only to be met back into it. And I can't remember what the name of the short story, but if you remember reading it in high school, let me know what the name of it is. It's a great short story, which always makes I always thought about that growing up. Let's go to Kim in Northern Connecticut. How are you, Kim?
I'm doing fine, Reese. Before I talk about my subject, which is Matt Gaetz, I would like to say airing of grievances is very appropriate. That half-hour news is ridiculous. It's I don't usually go to restaurants where they have terrible service and rude waiters, but the bread and butter of your station is conservatives. And when they start to try to make out that they can tell you what to believe, like conspiracy theory and bogus, using these terms. By the way, Joe Rogan and Tucker Carlson have applauded Alex Jones for years, saying he knew everything years before anyone else. And he was on Steve Bannon today, by the way, on his War Room, and he happened to say that you're not getting the whole story. Bankruptcies are supposed to be clean and orderly. There was a group that has ideologically aligned. They put in a bid, and this other group put in a bid. I think The Onion put in a bid, and nobody exposed what the bids were. In addition, they wanted to take away Alex Jones's name and his likeness. Everything from that whole thing stinks. Okay.
Yeah, wanting to erase him from polite society, even his name is, to me, that's so Orwellian, and I hate to use that term, but it's no other description.
Yep, and they were not. They were supposed to be clean and orderly bankruptcy, and nothing was transparent. You don't refuse to give numbers and that type of thing.
Yeah.
So that's a dirty deal as far as I'm concerned. Now, as far as Matt Gaetz goes,
yes.
Here's the thing. Keep in mind what Trump was targeted before his 2016 election by the feds. He was in globalists who worked together.
Indeed.
He was targeted during his first term. He was targeted after he left office with all the lawfare. And now they're setting up to target him again. They don't care what happens to this country. In fact, they have pretty bad agenda for this country.
Indeed.
So when Trump went to take the documents, which he was allowed to under the law as president to take classified documents, that's what Mar-a-Lago being raided was all about.
Indeed.
He had the goods on Hillary's Crossfire Hurricane. He had the goods and all the illegal bribes that Biden had taken. He had the goods on all these, intelligence agencies.
Yeah, in fact, we know that they were looking for a particular document that they knew he had, and the archivist knew that he had it, and that's why they authorized the raid.
There's dirty dealings there. Now, if they're doing that to Trump, okay, the president of the United States, they will do all of this, and they have done it to regular American citizens. They are invading all of our rights. But
Kim,
really
because because I am going to have to cut you off. But the point is, and I think the point that I was making, I think you're making it too, is that what they're fearful of is that Matt Gaetz understands every stitch of this.
He knows everything, and they don't want him to talk about it.
Exactly.
And he's a good talker.
He is. And you know what? And that's the whole thing. The exposing of all of it will have so many names in a ringer. That's what they're afraid of the most. But thank you, Kim. I appreciate it. You know, I got to get out of here. But, you're absolutely right. Matt Gaetz is the person who's going to expose it. And I think that's fearful that the apparatus in Washington and in the news media wants to do anything to shut him down. As I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your mind. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese on Radio. You have a good night, pleasant tomorrow. Don't forget the airing of grievances.
The airing of grievances
is all day tomorrow, and he's Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Good night, Mark.
Hey, Reese, have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow if you're heading 91 southbound into downtown.
All right, good sir. Great show.
Thank you. Actually, that turned out to be a lot better than I thought it was going to be because all I had was that Chris Murphy thing.
Yeah, but it don't matter. It went crazy.
Yeah, it went good. It went good. All right, I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll probably text you about that game tonight. We'll see how bad it is.
All right, cool.
All right, talk to you later.
47
All right.
84 eastbound locked up a half mile before 46th Avenue. Sluggish right down to the Bulkley Bridge. 291 eastbound.
All right, holla, holla, pop your collar, everybody. Y'all be good. Let's get back to the... Sorry, I get back to the screen. Thank you, Michael A. Alex committed to the most heinous crime, thought crime. Yeah, he did. He sure enough did. Without a doubt. What's old is new again. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Susan Wright, 1984. It's crazy. Yeah, Chaos and Earth. I got him. I promise you. I'm going to get the audio tonight.